Dave. Here we go. Fuck. Yeah. Oh my God. We are all goof people, motherfuckers. Yeah! Welcome to Midnight Metal episode 38. Yes, I am your host. I am your goddamn host, Robert Meyer fucking Burnett. And you know what? I'm feeling pretty goddamn fucking metal tonight. Are you feeling metal? God damn it. You should be feeling metal. This is Midnight Metal episode 38. By the way, is there a better late night YouTube show than this one? Oh, the answer is, oh wait, hang on, let me hear it. No, there isn't. And you know why? Because I've got my cohort, Mr. Dave fucking Parker. Fuck yeah. Dave, are you fucking feeling metal tonight, Dave? Dave, are you fucking metal tonight?
Look at me. We are a shot in the dark, baby.
We are fucking
shot in the dark.
Okay, so now that we've got our metal bona fides out of the way, Dave.
Good.
Dave.
Yes. Right.
You. By the way, look at you. First of all, can we just? You look resplendent. Can we say that? You look. I mean, my God, that's some Tony Ridley Scott. That is some unbelievable 80s lighting. Dave? What have you done? What have you done to make yourself look so fucking awesome, dude?
I had to
all you need to do is smoke cigarettes like Marion Blaylock from The Hunger. Do you have like a? Aren't you? Do you have like a vape guy? Yo, there you go. Okay, now blow that right into the camera. Oh my God! Oh, Dave! Oh God! Oh,
it just gets the nipples hard, doesn't it?
Oh, dude. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Dude, I got to tell you. I mean, from the early days, you always gave me a hard on. Just saying right now. For fuck's sake. I mean, I'm just saying, I'm like, oh, my God, look at that. Look at this. I mean, you don't get that kind of cinematography from a webcam, Dave. I mean, wow, you're a filmmaker, bruh. That's what I'm saying. You're like, wow.
You got to step up the game if you're going to do this show.
I have to say, Dave, I have to say that you know what? I bow to you, sir. I bow. I do.
You're getting a new camera design and everything else, and you know the thing is, you have the ability once you get everything set up in the Rob Observatory, and you get the new stuff, going, you will have the ability to switch up your lighting for the show too, and yet you can be.
Dude.
Almost, you can join me in this
like the Evil Dead. Join us
in the fucking bar sinister look,
dude. I mean, and you remember? I mean, you and I, we were like back at 15 years ago. We were the bar sinister denizens, man.
Oh my God,
we were there every like weekend on ecstasy. It was amazing.
I had
oh
friends,
my God,
I had friends.
Wait, did I just say that? I've never done ecstasy.
No, never. You just like the way it tastes.
The great thing about it is if you do it right, you don't taste it. It just goes down the gullet. Oh, wait, what? Right down. But, I like it, but I hate it. Anyway, what?
I like it, but I hate it. But how is everyone else tonight? Are you guys fucking feeling?
Dude, that's the real question. This show is only as good as its audience. If you guys are not feeling, fuck it. Wait, hang on. Fuck yeah, dude. This fucking metal, brah. Oh, this isn't quite. I mean, it doesn't matter. This is Hang Loose, brah. It's, Shaka
Hold
bra,
on.
whatever. But
They're
you know
saying,
what?
they're saying I'm a little low.
Jonathan
A
Butcher.
little low.
John, well, why don't you?
Hold on. I'm bringing my volume up a little bit there. Hopefully that's better for you guys. There we go.
Yeah, dude. You know what? Here's what I say about that volume. Yeah, brah. Yeah, brah. Yeah. Jonathan Butcher sent me this from San Francisco. Yeah. Fuck yeah. By the way, Jonathan Butcher. Fuck yeah, dude. Come on. Thank you.
Sweet. Yeah, man.
Oh, dude.
What a fucking week we've had. We've had like very exciting week of stuff has gone down this week.
Well,
For
Dave.
for you and
Dave,
for me.
Dave, why don't you tell us about the week at hand?
Well, one, you've got Tango Shalom coming.
Oh my God,
Which-
dude. Tango Shalom is decidedly unmetal, but if you didn't know about...
but it
Hey,
is.
wait.
But the thing is, it's so unmetal that it's kind of metal.
Okay, Dave. All I can say is look at this. Oi!
Rabbi Yehuda,
Holy face,
why
your
do
case.
women wear scarves or wigs on their heads?
For respect.
My name is Viviana Nieves. What's yours?
The same way it is forbidden for a man to touch any woman other than one's wife.
Moshe, the children.
Yeah. Look, that was me right there. I'm the voice of Moses. I am.
Hashem told you to dance in a tango contest?
A Gentile dancing teacher
Green
wants to
screen off
tango
Dancing with
with
the
you
Stars. She's actually
in a
very good.
TV contest.
You might
Dude,
find
so
you just
mad.
don't need to touch this woman in tango.
How can I achieve my goal without sacrificing my sacred beliefs?
We're going to kick him right out of the community.
I got big problems.
Big problems can be such big fun.
How do we convince people that a young, pretty shiksa dancing
Oh, just
partner
what?
is just a young, pretty shiksa dancing partner?
She should be dressing very modestly. You cannot even touch her hair.
You know what? Come on now. Hang
It
on.
is.
Did I like cut into our? I did. I cut into our own.
That's
my
okay.
own trailer.
Look at that shot, though. Oh,
I know.
oh no. Well,
Dave, come on. We're back. You know
we're
what?
back.
First of all,
we're back.
now,
But
Dave.
congratulations! It's very exciting. This is all coming together.
A shameless plug. So here's the thing, folks. We don't just talk about other people's stuff, and we don't just bag on other people's stuff, and we don't just exalt other people's stuff. Like Scream Factory's action figure of Saint X-Men of the Valkyrie from Jimmy Murakami's Battle Beyond the Stars. I mean,
Which?
who? By the way, who would have thought that this exists? I want all of the characters. But you know what? I have this. I feel good. Dave, what were you gonna say?
You got a Sybil Danning figure, and funny enough, it was. I'm just gonna again because this is not always about everything, but it's about us. Our friend Paul Salamoff celebrated his birthday today.
Yes.
and I was at a party, and one of the gifts that I gave him was the Steelbook from Battle Beyond the Stars.
And how is Paul? You know, was his daughter there?
Yeah.
Just kidding. I'm kidding.
Yes.
Paul's done very well in his life. He's done Logan's Run comics. By the way, he has a new comic book out on the shelves now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Called Hired Guns.
Called Hired Guns, the second version. I mean, good for Paul.
Yeah.
You know, Paul and I both worked at Tony Gardner's Altarian Studios in the 90s.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's a really good dude.
Really good dude.
Our friend Dan Schweiger was there. Our friend Jeff Goldsmith was there.
Hey,
And
man. It was Dan Schweiger. Hey, man.
Yeah. Dan Schweiger was there. The infamous. Someday we'll get him on the show, though it's way past his bedtime.
Did he ask that? Did he ask
No.
if we'd have him?
No. Our friend Jeff Goldsmith was there as well, who has who does Backstory, which is an incredible screenwriting magazine.
Yeah, well, you know, let's give a big shout out, by the way, to Jeff Goldsmith, because I mean, Jeff Goldsmith created this from nothing.
Yes,
like our friend Jeff Goldsmith, who 22 years ago shot behind the scenes footage for Free Enterprise, started his own podcast magazine.
The podcast is Q&A with Jeff Goldsmith, and one of his most recent guests was Tarantino in a really great hour and a half fucking deep dive on things that were not, that Tarantino did not talk about in other shows or podcasts, because Jeff is that good. He knows how to get the best out of people. It's
dude, would you say that Jeff Goldsmith is fucking metal?
He's so metal that he doesn't know it.
I agree.
That's the thing with him. He doesn't know it.
Yeah.
But what other things have been going on this week? Well, we had, which is part of our topic, we had the premiere of Suicide Squad in theaters and on HBO Max.
Well, Dave, did you want to kill yourself after seeing it, or did you love it?
I didn't love it. But
I love it.
But I didn't want to kill myself. The thing is this: I thought it was very entertaining. There was great stuff in it.
I thought so too.
I've been lucky enough many years ago at Comic-Con. Actually, I met David Dasmalian, who plays Polka Dot Man.
I've streamed with him. He is a really terrific guy.
He's he's a great guy.
Really terrific guy. A really, really great guy.
Really great. And at that time, he was at Comic-Con promoting a movie that he did called Sushi Girl, which I really like, and people should go check out. It's got Mark Hamill in it for those who are interested.
Well, if you're Gerardo, bitches, you eat them raw like sushi.
Oh wow!
I'm just saying.
Rico
Suave.
That was a not metal pull, but good
dude,
for you.
You know what? Oh, come on. Rico Suave is goddamn metal.
No.
I mean, yes.
No.
Okay.
But anyway, we're going off topic here. So anyway,
how can you go off topic on this show? What?
All right, I'm trying to keep it on track here, man.
Okay.
So David Dasmalian plays Polka Dot Man, which to me was one of the highlights. But again, it's biased because I know him and he's such a good dude. He also has this amazing comic book series called Count Crowley, which is a horror comic graphic novel thing. It's going to go into another batch of comics soon, which is really awesome. They're getting a second series if you want.
By the way, do you know that David Dasmalian plays Peter de Vries? Which is what in Dune, which is what Brad Dourif played in the original Dune.
Yes, and he's been in at least since Prisoners.
Yeah,
all of Denis Villeneuve's movies.
Yeah, and I've streamed with him, and like you said, I just want to reiterate, he's a really great dude.
Amazing,
and
really,
by the way,
really awesome dude.
He's great as Polka Dot Man. Yes, he is.
Polka Dot Man, definitely one of the highlights for me. The thing is this, and we talked about this earlier with Suicide Squad. I thought it was a very, very good movie. But the thing is, unlike you, I didn't hate the original Suicide Squad movie because I am a huge fan of David Ayers. Now, the thing is this.
I am too, but that's not his movie, dude.
No, but here, well, if you let me finish.
Okay.
I am
Dave,
one of the...
You go ahead and finish.
Thank you. I am one of the people who would love to see the Ayer cut because I know it would be so much better. But the thing is, this movie, this new one, obviously, James Gunn, it's really fun. But the thing is
really fun.
Is it really a squad? Because they're so split up most of the time. And arguably the best sequence directed is Harley Quinn's breaking out of her imprisonment.
Oh my God.
Come on, Dave. Which is a solo thing on her own.
Yeah.
But again, what's interesting about this movie, and it goes on our topic about fan service and everything, this movie is above and beyond fan service because no one really know. Most people, I shouldn't say no one, our viewers probably do know some of these characters. I did not. I didn't know Polka Dot Man. I knew King Shark because he had popped up on the Flash series.
Yeah, of course.
But with the exception of the ones that had been in the first one, I did not know these new characters.
Okay, so that belies, or the question I must ask you is, having not known them, do you, and by the way, the topic of this show is about fan service and all this. And by the way, I have to point out that it was something you suggested, and I think it's a very valid question. Now, do you think, Dave, and you are the litmus test, an astute moviegoer, and you said, I didn't know these characters yet. You went in, you liked film. Is it important? Does anyone need to even know? Like I have a thought of this, but do you need to know anything about these characters going into this movie? Do you have to have some DC knowledge, or does it work without knowing anything?
The movie works without knowing any knowledge about any of the characters, even the ones who were in Suicide Squad, the first movie. And the thing is, you don't even have to have seen the first movie to appreciate this movie.
Right there with you, buddy. I agree.
And that's the thing that James Gunn is very smart about, where he was just like, I am going to start fresh. Now, and he did that because I didn't know who the Guardians of the Galaxy were either. I had no knowledge of them at all. So that was very cool to be able to do what he did, as far as, making these characters that you really, really like. And I mean, James Gunn is, at this point, he's a pretty terrific master filmmaker. I mean, he really does know what he wants to do and how to deliver a very entertaining movie.
Well, I mean, I hate to go back to this. I was talking about it earlier today on our member call, but I did produce, even though I was demoted. I did produce. I was the associate producer of a 1999 film called The Specials that James Gunn wrote and also starred in, and it was about the 8th greatest superhero team. I mean, Thomas Hayden Church, Rob Lowe, Patrick Brewster, Sean Gunn. It's an incredible film, though, I mean, and it was directed by Craig Mazin, who did Chernobyl.
Right.
And he and I worked at the same ad agency in the mid '90s. Although I think my copywriting is pretty damn good, if I do say so myself. But anyway, but what was interesting, what's apparent about James Gunn is he's an auteur. Like, he has a voice, and I think what was really interesting is that Kevin Feige plucked him up after doing Slither, which is wonderful, and Super. And when you look at Slither and Super, those two things,
wouldn't Kevin necessarily connect, those two, a big budget Marvel movie. Unless you are Kevin Feige, who's really smart,
or unless you're a really good executive. I mean, I think that, we all, Dave, you and I, we toil away in our low budget obscurity, hoping that one day we'll make something and people go, like, that guy, those guys, we're going to bring them here. And by the way, we work hard to that. You never.
I mean, here's the thing. We constantly aspire. I mean, look, there would be nothing more, I think, exciting for either one of us than to get the opportunity to do this. The problem, the problem that people don't understand is that where the level that we are, if we're being realistic, it's very difficult. And the thing is,
wait, hang on. What do you mean, you people? Just kidding.
You mean right? But where we are in our careers, as far as directorially in the opportunities that are available to us,
we haven't had that thing. But we
have not had a breakout thing. But we continue to aspire to try to do something. And the problem is, because of that, we have to deal with producers who constantly second question us. Where luckily, someone like James Gunn has risen to the level, and he's incredibly inspiring to people like me and you, because he started at Troma. I mean, that was the equivalent.
We started at Full Moon with Charlie Bennett.
Right. So it's the equivalent of it, but again, his talent has risen to the top, very deservedly. So But it is a lot of the time, it is about getting the opportunity and getting producers and people who will actually back your vision and allow you to do it. I mean, because with Super or even Slither, he could have hung himself by going too far, and yet they worked.
Well,
now Slither worked more broadly, I think, and has now really grown into a cult thing. And obviously, Dawn of the Dead and even doing the Scooby-Doo movies like really worked for him. But again, I want to before we deep dive into just James Gunn, I want to deep dive into our topic a little bit of fan service.
Okay,
and
and by the way, I just want to say
really involves everyone.
You actually called me up today, and you're like, Rob, I have a topic I want to talk about, and like you don't usually do that. You're like, well, let's I'll let you let me go on. Like, oh my god, but you actually called me up and said, I have an idea for tonight's show, and I'm like, great. I mean, I love that because normally these shows is like, let's just get fucking metal and drink some shit and talk whatever.
Right.
But so when you called me up and said, hey, listen, I have a topic for tonight. You were very contemplative, very introspective, and I'm like, I love when Dave's like this. And I said, okay. And I immediately went and changed the topic. So, Dave, why don't you tell me and our viewers, all of those metal motherfuckers that are out there right now?
Oh, yeah.
Tell me about what you called me about, and tell me what made you think about it.
Well, I wanted to talk to the audience about fan service, and fan service has been a very hot topic.
Hang on, bruh. Don't just say fan service. Come on.
Fan service.
Just go fan service, and let it linger. Let it like a dangling participle. Just go fan service.
Fan service. When is fan service?
Not good? Not the book. Showmanship.
Oh,
that's Oscar Schindler. But anyway, come on.
But anyway, I wanted to talk about fan service, and this is something that I think a lot of the people who are watching can really chime in on, and I'm really interested in hearing what they and what made me think about this topic was there are times when I'm winding down the night and I'm getting ready for bed after a long day of work on my editing job, which is not sexy at all and not metal.
Oh, that's dude. The way you punch those keys, it's fucking sexy as fuck.
The show that I'm working on is only kind of metal because Jack Osbourne is one of the stars of it. So,
what's it called? What's it called, by the way?
Well, it's called Jack Osbourne's Night of Terror, and this what I'm working on, and I probably shouldn't be able to talk about this, and I would get in trouble if anyone were watching.
Yeah, they're gonna hate the fact we're promoting it on the internet.
It's a special for A&E, and it stars Jack Osbourne, who regularly does a paranormal show called Portals to Hell that I work on, which is very metal,
which is half my life,
right? And he in this what I'm working on right now, he is with Jamie Kennedy and Jason Mewes, who we of course both had hung out with at Comic-Con many years ago.
Yeah,
like right after Clerks, actually, we hung out with Jason Mewes
in the early days.
Before
I even wrote for Kevin Smith's movie Poop Shoot website.
That's right. So, when I'm done that, sometimes I don't have time before I have to like crash out to watch an entire thing. So the other night I was watching a little bit of different things, and one of the things that I threw on, and what got me thinking about this topic was I watched the opening to the 2009 Friday the 13th, the reboot.
Yeah, the pot
farmer,
the pot smoking. Right.
Well, Jason doesn't smoke pot, but there is pot involved because
he eats pot. You don't see it.
No, as Platinum Dooms always did, there was pot involved in every fucking thing that they did.
Yeah, and then it was legalized, so good on them.
Yes. So, but what I was thinking about, and I'm a huge Friday the 13th fan, and now I recognize.
No. Are you really?
Duh.
No, I just Dave,
yes,
back right up.
You're being ironic there, but
no, don't start wars, Dave. I just want to know:
Don't start
Are you
wars.
really a Friday the 13th fan?
Look,
come on now.
I know. I look. I love the Friday the 13th series, and the thing is, I recognize that these movies are as far as quality and writing and everything, these are not cinematic treasures in the traditional sense, but they hold a place in my heart because of when I not as much as Phantasm, which is my favorite horror series of all time. Over Nightmare on Elm Street and everything.
Put your hand in the box, Dave.
I'm a Phantasm guy,
dude. I love that. I am. You know what? I might be metal, but I'm much more Phantasm.
That's right.
But, you know what? Do you think it was the retarded kid Timmy up the street? People are like, wait, what? You can't say that word. I'm like, it's in the movie. What, Lorraine?
What? So, anyway. So I was watching the opening, and then people who know the reboot of this, Friday the 13th, the first 22 minutes are sort of their own little movie. And what got me thinking about fan service is I was thinking about a lot of people hated that movie. And really,
it's not good. It's not good, Dave.
No, the thing is, for a Friday the 13th movie, my argument is that it is good. It delivers on everything that a Friday the 13th movie was and is. But what got me thinking about the fan service part of it was, if I was going to do this, he's giving me the finger.
Oh, I'm just kidding. Wait, what?
Yeah.
Friday the 13th, the remake, the Platinum Doom, Michael Bay. What?
But here's the thing. I think when fan service is good, it would be this kind of thing, and it's a very delicate balance of where you are bringing in new fans, but you are also paying homage to the people who made it what it was, and it came down to a very simple thing.
Get busy living.
No,
or get busy.
Stop.
It's coming on 4K. Just saying.
Yes. But for me, it's like, I think they would have gotten so much more goodwill. And this is a very simple, little, tiny, minuscule thing. And you can disagree with me, but I'm interested to hear what people think. So it opens with the New Line logo. Okay. Because New Line has control over it now, so they have to be a part of it. The whole legal thing is a bullshit.
It's not. By the way, can I just say it's wrong? Like, even New Line should have started with the Paramount logo.
But they should have started with the Paramount logo from the 80s. Yeah. Not the new logo. If they had done that and not colored red, but just the pure old Paramount logo, showing that the people, by
the way, we can get Harry Manfredini on the show. I know him, just so you know.
But he's probably asleep right now.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean he won't come on the show.
It would be awesome because Harry is great. But the thing is, and then I was going in the beginning. It's like you see the lake. Well, how come they don't go swimming in the lake? There are certain things of just tradition that
I know. I made a movie about Jews.
That you can do. And Friday the 13th is a easy example of it. When you're dealing with things like Star Wars or Star Trek, it's a very convoluted, it's a very much more difficult thing. And the thing
only if you're dumb. And that's what's happened with Star Trek.
But because
another Paramount property that slid off the mountain down into the sewers.
Right. But again, did Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan, not do fan service in the right way, in almost one of the most perfect ways, where it gave fan service to the people who loved the original Star Trek, and yet you didn't need to know it to enjoy that movie.
Dave, let me ask you, and I think we need, before we go on, right. I need you to define what fan service actually is.
Well,
What is it? I mean, I know we talk about like a fan service, and plot armor and all this stuff. But I think it's important for the discussion what fan service actually is, and I have to say, there's good fan service and bad fan service. Kind of like, well, hang on, I'm not going to use that analogy because I get canceled. But I would just say,
I can use I can give you a good example of bad fan service, but for good fan service, and I'm just going to give examples because
but you have to define it first.
But again, I have to define it from what I know on an example. I think, for example, like Spider-Man 2 is great fan service and yet a great movie. It acknowledges.
You mean Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 2?
Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 2. I think Sam gave a great movie, a great superhero movie. But again, if you were a fan of the Spider-Man comic books throughout, but way before it ever came,
sure,
you got little touches. And not only did you get the little Marvel comic touches, he also gave fan service to his past, the style of what he did in
Steve Ditko, and then
but the Doc Ock birth scene in the hospital is pure Sam Raimi, and in that sense, he was giving fan service to his fans, the fans of him and the Evil Dead movies and the things that he did, and I think that is a perfect blend of fan service where you're giving the hardcore people their touches that only they might get, that the audience wide might not, but they can still really appreciate the movie. Because I guarantee you, people watching, say, the birth of Doc Ock in that hospital scene didn't appreciate as much the cinematic touches that were pure Sam Raimi that people who knew Sam Raimi's stuff did, and we could appreciate it and love it even more. A version of bad fan service is what J.J. Abrams did with Star Trek Into Darkness.
Wait, what? What, Lorraine? What, Lorraine?
I'm pouring fuel on your fire, but that's where it's like,
you've always done that, Dave. Come on now.
But that's, to me, that's bad fan service, where it's just like and partially what he did with the Star Wars films. I mean, most people can argue one way or the other, but the thing is, I think with properties like Star Trek and Star Wars, you are damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. There is a no-win situation. But
wait, Dave, let me stop you right there. I don't think that's necessarily true, because there have been examples of things like, I, for one, unlike the critical drinker, I hold up the critical drinker as a very
shrewd person.
He's a very smart guy, and I've streamed with him. I really like him. He has a very keen understanding of story, and there's one part that we don't break bread on. I'm a huge fan of Creed, of Ryan Coogler's Creed, and for me,
great example.
It's the 6th Rocky sequel.
Yes.
And by the way, I love Creed. Yet the critical drinker has many really salient points why he doesn't like it as much as I do. And it was interesting because when he laid them out to me, I'm like, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. And by the way, that's what great discourse is. Fan discourse is. Like, we grew up going to conventions. When I talk to the drinker, and when I've streamed with him twice, we like, when I listen to him, and here's the thing, when I listen to him talk about, I tell him, he knows I love Creed, and he actually laid out why he doesn't, and his reasoning was really, really sound, and I'm like, you know what, you're not wrong, and I'm totally with you. However, I am a Creed fan, and I think what was great about Creed was Ryan Coogler, who was a fan of the Rocky franchise, and he had made Fruitvale Station a great hard hitting,
amazing movie.
Yeah, really well done film. And it's funny because people think like, well, you know, we have to hire a black director to do Black Panther. Well, that might be true, but the reason that Ryan Coogler became someone on Kevin
Marvel's
Feige's radar
list, yeah.
was because of Fruitvale Station, and then also because of Creed. And what I love is that you have here's I think the great schism in our modern entertainment age.
Okay.
And that is that you have our corporations have acquired all of our favorite shit, whether it's Friday the 13th, whether it's Marvel, whether it's DC, whether it's Lucasfilm or whatever. All of our great franchises that we all love growing up have been acquired by multinational corporations. And by definition, all of these things that we love sprung out of the minds of one person. Or, you know, like George Lucas created Star Wars, and yeah, did he need a lot of people to help him realize his dream? Yes, he did. But it still was his idea. Now, and coming out of his mind, what we got was something he directed. Now, if he sells his idea, so suddenly Star Wars is one of the great, you know, it's made merchandising like $25 billion since 1977. $25 billion.
Right.
I mean, that's insane money. So you sell it to a corporation. So what's interesting about that is when a storytelling, call it a franchise, whatever you want to call it, when it's sold to a corporation doesn't have storytellers in it. Like it's a corporation, so they own this asset called Star Wars, and they're like, they can have all their marketing people do all the analytics in the world. And they're like, well, we need this, and this to make successful Star Wars, because corporations are not storytellers. They'll never be. Even if they hire storytellers, they're like, well, we want you to tell the story, but within this parameter.
Well,
And-
my interest is. Oh, I'm sorry to interrupt. Finish your thought. I'm sorry.
Well, no, but I was just gonna say so all of these great franchises that we love, including Friday the 13th, are owned by corporations that, by definition, cannot tell great stories, because great storytelling is not part of their mandate. They don't know what that is from a spreadsheet perspective. Okay, we bought Star Wars, and they're like, Star Wars has like, it's about rebellion and young people and X-wings and Wookiees, and you can look at this and go, this is what we need. But that's not what Star Wars is.
No,
I mean,
it's funny because we've talked about doing this new show. I have been reading, which I had never read before, The Splinter of the Mind's Eye
by Alan Dean Foster.
Dean Foster, and I'm really interested in it. And the thing is, I am not someone who reads science fiction. I have a problem. I have some sort of hold on.
What?
I have a disconnect. I can read.
Lorraine?
What? I can read all kinds of horror stuff, but sci-fi usually. But because I'm delving into characters that I already know and that I'm familiar with, that I'm enjoying it, I'm getting into. So it's interesting. I just think this is the thing. If you listen to the fans broadly, the broad fans, you know, what do they
broads.
want? They want what? They want Darth Vader, they want Luke, they want Han, they want Leia, and they want these things now that are realistically just not, one, story-wise, but even just physically, are not possible anymore. Really,
Okay, Dave, why aren't they possible?
Well, I mean, Carrie Fisher is no longer with us. Harrison Ford is pushing 80. You know, and the thing is, you know, it's one of those things where George Lucas created something that was so beloved that I don't think there's ever, I don't know if there will ever be an escaping from that shadow of what he created that will ever please fans totally. I don't know if that's even possible. I mean, people have enjoyed, Rogue One and Solo to a degree, and even I enjoy Solo.
I do too. I liked it.
Thing. I think that gets way too much flack, and it's a very fun movie that doesn't do anything because it doesn't disrupt anything that has been already established.
Okay, but
maybe that's the thing.
Let me ask you, I think all the people watching this show have enjoyed The Mandalorian.
Yes.
Now, I would say that the first season to me of The Mandalorian was bargain basement Western trope TV. I will come out and say I thought it was fine.
Okay.
A Western, but I liked it. And
right.
and here's the thing. All of you who watch this channel might understand I don't like modern Star Trek. I don't.
We know this. It's been covered.
Is it true? I just want to make sure.
I think they've all got it.
I think that Star Trek since 2009, since J.J. Abrams first, is a brain...
soiled it. And yet the thing is, you cannot deny that J.J. Abrams has done some really great things. Like Cloverfield is a great fucking movie.
Produced it. Just produced it.
No, I know, but
I love it. By the way, I love it. Great.
Some of the things that he's been involved with.
Oh no,
are very good.
No, there's no doubt. There's no doubt. But I think he took a franchise that, by its definition, was thoughtful, and made it unthoughtful. and to me, okay. So I think what you brought up is a really great topic, in the sense that, even the Friday the 13th franchise has fans. And if you love Friday,
huge amount of fans,
of course, huge fan. And by the way, it's a franchise that's endured. I saw my first Friday the 13th movie 41 years ago in May of 1980.
Right.
I was there. 41 years ago. So, but I didn't, from an intellectual standpoint, it hasn't, it wasn't even my Battle Beyond the Stars. But that said, it is what it is, and they've created a mythology and something that lives in people's minds. And what I think is important, and Friday the 13th is as valid as the Hunger Games, Twilight, Star Trek, Star Wars, whatever. Anything.
And now it is a brand. Yeah,
it's a brand.
Wait, hold on. Cardinal Sin, you're absolutely right. And I recognized it from the get-go that The Mandalorian is Lone Wolf and Cub, thinly veiled. And Rob and I talked about this early on. We both recognized, many, many people recognized it, but of course we did. But I don't think that's a bad thing. And perfect example. You know who's great at fan service, yet making it his own thing? Tarantino. Come on. Kill Bill. She's wearing Bruce Lee's jumpsuit.
Oh, yeah.
If that's not...
She's literally...
And the thing is this, but I think that's where fan service is really good, where it's you don't have to know that it's from Game of Death.
No.
But the people who do get that little extra bump out of it.
That's true. Yes. But here's the thing. What's interesting about what Tarantino is doing is he's referencing something, but he takes it to the next level. If you don't know Game of Death, if you don't know Bruce Lee's history or whatever, you don't know why the bride is wearing that leather motorcycle suit.
It just looks cool.
Yeah, it looks cool.
And he's right. And the fact that if you don't know Street Fighter and you don't know Sonny Chiba,
Street Fighter,
but then Sonny Chiba shows up and you just go, I don't know who this actor is, but he's cool.
Hattori Hanzo,
he makes the greatest swords on the planet,
dude.
What he's great is making not just fan service, but also he's also creating myths with his characters.
Just listen to this. Can you hear this? It's Daigo's theme from Shogun Assassin.
Yeah. It's funny.
By the way,
because
we just got demonetized because I'm playing this, but whatever.
Right. Oh. It's interesting because some people are going, oh well, here's the thing, guys. What I know, people like Corey Feldman can say that the rights of Friday the 13th have been cleared up, and they're going to do a new Tommy Jarvis versus Jason.
They have not been. By the way.
No, I'm sorry. They have not been, and all those hoping that Corey Feldman is going to come back is him trying to get attention to himself right now. That's not it's not going to happen. But that's not that's not what we're talking about. But what I'm curious about is for our watchers, what is good fan service and what is bad fan service? What are the things? And the thing is, I brought up the Friday the 13th thing because that's the type of thing that I'm interested in. Now, at this point in my life, if someone said, Dave, we want you to direct one of these, I would be very intimidated because, again, wait,
come on, back right up. If someone asks you to direct a
Friday,
are you going to tell the producers, like, I don't know, man.
I would do it, but I would be intimidated because for the horror circles, doing Friday the 13th or Nightmare on Elm Street or Hellraiser, these are daunting things. And we're
are they? I can't imagine.
They are for horror fans.
Can you imagine if we got somebody? Can you imagine if we talked to somebody who, like a director, who was offered, like, bruh, like, we want you to direct a Hellraiser movie. Do you think that we know somebody who might say that I can't do that? I can't direct a Hellraiser movie. I can't do it.
I think you're leading into something right now, which
I
is
don't.
our,
well,
which is our.
Am I leading into something?
Potentially, our special guest who would like to talk about anything else but that.
Okay, I'm just saying. I mean, you brought it up. I'm just saying, like I think we know
I'm just
some
saying,
really good people.
But the reason I'm bringing that up is because what we are going to get very soon is a Candyman, quote unquote, soft reboot, and they're getting ready to shoot a Hellraiser sort of reboot very shortly in the next couple months.
You mean because they haven't done Hellraiser reboots over the last, 30 years?
No, they haven't. This is going to be a proper sort of, but it's through Hulu, and yet there is a TV show that Mike Doherty is working on, which is completely separate. So it's very interesting in this sense of what is going to happen. And Mike Conrad, I'm just seeing your thing. They are working on a Nightbreed series as well.
They are
through Clive Barker. Yes, NR. Do I only work on horror films? Yes, because I have been purposely typecast myself into only working on horror films, if I am so lucky to do.
Well, I have to say that we have somebody
who's way more knowledgeable.
But he's upside down. I don't know why he's upside down.
He doesn't look upside down to me.
He doesn't?
No.
Well, he looks upside down to me.
That's a stranger thing that's going on in.
Well, no, are you not seeing him upside down? I see him a little upside down right now.
I am not. I'm seeing the man, the myth, the legend, the way I've always seen him.
Okay, first of all, let's just talk about this guy because I need to just weigh in for a minute.
Do you need to wax rhapsodic a little bit?
Yes, I do. So we have a man who is, he's a man of the world. He's a handsome man. He's a talented man. And everyone who watches this show knows I love Hot Toys. I do a show about it. I talk about Hot Toys, which are 1/6 scale action figures that are incredibly realistic. So this man, despite his work in the film community, despite his taste in women, despite the fact that he's amazingly handsome, and we've drank some really great beer and so I want to just talk about, I want to wax rhapsodic before we bring him in. I want to talk about what he does with his own action figures. And I just let me just show you guys this. Because
oh my God, you guys are in such a treat.
Hang on. Can we just if you're a Queen fan and a Star Wars fan, look at this picture. look at this picture. Look at what Victor Garcia did with his goddamn, like, his Hot Toys figures. Like, oh my good Christ. Jesus Cristo. I mean, look at this picture. Look at this. These are action figures, people. Action figures. I mean, and by the way, who bought sequel action figures? Well, apparently Victor did. Like I wish I did, but nobody really cares. I want to see this. I want to see this movie. Look at this picture. This movie, this picture instills more feeling and emotion in me than the entire Disney sequel trilogy. Now, by the way, if that didn't sell you, come on, bruh. Look at this. Look at this! Oh my God. I mean, are you not crying right now? Are you not weeping? Are you like Han and Leia? Like, where was this scene in the sequel trilogy? Like, gosh, you had one job. Put these characters together in one scene. And oh, wait. If you didn't know what those characters were, oh, wait, hang on. Oh, wait. Han, Leia, and Luke. Look at this. Come on. These are action figures. This is what a director does. A director creates emotion. Yeah, I mean, and by the way, let's just say, you know what I love about Europe? Everybody in Europe is a little bit cooler because they smoke. I know people are like, Rob, smoking. Can I just talk about Han? Well, because he's a handsome dude. But look at this picture of Princess Leia. I mean, come on. Like, oh my God. Like, for real. Victor Garcia takes an action figure and a character that we've known and we've loved. Look at her. Look at this picture. My God. Even Luke, look at this. Look at this. Luke, A New Hope, the setting suns of Tatooine. But what he does is he makes it like in a club in Ibiza. Come on, man. Look at this shit. This is awesome. This is Victor Garcia. He reinterprets something you've known and loved since your childhood. You know that Luke is looking at those setting suns of Tatooine. This is the Luke that just dropped some MDMA. He is at the greatest club, and he's at Pacha in fucking Ibiza, and he's about the breakdown is coming right there. Look at this shit. Come on, man. Unbelievable. I don't know. I'm sorry. No, come on. No, hang on. Wait. Now, hang on. There's one more. Look at this. Come on. Look at this. The Emperor. Oh my God. I'm only sneezing. Because, and by the way, Victor is still upside down. I don't know why Victor is upside. Victor, why is your camera upside down? I don't know why. Okay. He's upside down for me. Just so you know, I'm gonna bring him on. He's in the middle of. He's upside down. I don't know why. Maybe. Hang on. Well, perhaps I did. Hang on. Apparently, it might be me. And you know what? I have the power to make him right side up. Just hold, please. Just give me a moment. I will make him. I will turn him around. And God damn, he's a handsome man. I'm just saying, Victor, you've always been a handsome guy. So for those of you who, if you haven't understood where we're at, I'm going to bring in film director, Hot Toys aficionado, Victor Garcia. Welcome to Midnight Metal. Victor, it's been a long time since I've seen you. We hung out at Sigis 10 years ago. We drank
ago already.
We drank beer in the morning. Victor, let me just say, you are still a handsome Spanish dude, and thank you for coming to Midnight Metal. But I have to ask you, Victor, are you feeling fucking metal, dude? Are you feeling fucking metal tonight?
the
Come
whole
on,
time,
dude.
all tonight. I mean, it
It's
is
morning
like 10
for
a.m.,
him.
but you know, I'm European, so I guess I can get a little
Fuck
bit
yeah,
of
you
metal
can. Yes,
all
you
day
can.
long. It's all good. It's all good. You know, I remember that picture you were talking about in Sitges with the beers.
Yeah, right.
Like,
Yes.
I should freaking find it right
Oh,
away.
it's on Facebook. Wait,
God.
well, I should find it.
Oh
But
my God.
but let me
Facebook.
ask you. I mean, you were always an inspiration to Dave and I. Obviously, Return to the House on Haunted Hill. You were somebody who paved the way, and you've worked in different franchises, and you've worked in horror for a long time. And I would ask you. And by the way, you've always had a smile on your face, despite whatever horrors the entertainment business would throw at you. How?
Sure, right? Sure, right, Victor? Sure.
I would ask you, Victor. I would ask you. Tell our audience on Midnight Metal, what is it like to be a filmmaker? You for 20 years, 30 years. What's it like to be a filmmaker in the world today? And do movies still matter?
Oh wow.
I know, right?
Come on, man.
Right. Like, good morning to you.
Yeah, he comes at you with these softball questions.
I know,
first.
right?
Exactly. So, anyways, first things, guys, it's awesome to see you. I miss you a lot, and it's been like way too long.
Way too long.
way
I
too
mean,
long,
we used to party hard in Hollywood, man. Come on.
I know. Oh God.
Now you're like a dad.
Oh my God.
Not yet.
Not
yet.
Well, that of several movies. That I am. Yep.
Yes, that's true.
By the way, I'm not letting you off the hook.
What is?
You must tell us. What is it like to be? Do films matter? And as a film director, a film writer,
always.
What is it like now in 2021? Are movies do they still resonate with the audience?
I think they do. I think they still do. It's just there's way too many productions and too many things going on. And I think that the skills of the audience just to sit down through a whole movie experience. I mean, they don't have that anymore. They can't be paying too much attention because what it is cool, it's not to watch movies, but to watch all of them.
Right.
So it became like, to me, it sort of became like a kind of competition in which people is like watching their shows at 1.5 speed with subtitles so they can catch up. And that's not a movie experience. That's not watching movies. That's just doing homework and being cool on social networks.
Right.
And that makes no sense. So it's a little bit of everything. Movies will matter. It's just that movies doesn't matter if you don't have an audience, if you don't have people to share that with somebody else, right? So it's all about the audience. We've been always in their hands, so.
Well, like, let me ask you, I mean, and again, I just to go back to, like, your work, you are somebody that, like, I look at this picture, I love this picture of Princess Leia with a cigarette, and what you've done in one image, you've taken somebody we love so much, and you took an action figure, and you created an emotion, you created a feeling, a moment in time that for this character, all we know about her is we saw her in action. We never saw her at rest. Mm-hmm. Like, it was like from the moment we met her, the rebel blockade runner is being invaded by the Imperial soldiers. We never saw Princess Leia, like, chilling the fuck out. And, like, you were like, what was she doing? Like, I'm running the rebellion. I just want a cigarette. I just want to chill the fuck out. And you created this moment in time. And I think that's what a great director does. Which, I mean, whether you're doing TV, whether you're doing movies, you're creating moments in time that elicit a response in the audience. And just by your action figure photography, you created a moment that didn't exist in the Star Wars canon, but yet I love that picture of Princess Leia. And forever in my own mind, I'm like, that was something that happened before that was when the Rebel blockade runner left in Rogue One, and before Star Wars began. You know, she was like, for fuck's sake, man, I just need a moment. You know, and you created something that, and I think that what great film directors do, you know, you create myths, you create moments in time that the audience didn't yet have, whether you're making Return to the House on Haunted Hill, or whether you're doing a Hellraiser movie, or whether you're doing, you know, you worked on the 30 Days of Night TV series. I mean,
yeah.
You've worked on all these things, and yet you're still creating, even in one image, you're still creating something that has emotion. And I ask you, do you feel a responsibility to your audience to bring them feeling and emotion? Is that what a director does?
Well,
I know, you're like, I'm sorry, man.
Guy, like, only one coffee, all right? Sunday morning here.
I know, I'm sorry.
I think it is your responsibility to make people feel something. Like, whatever is the clear message, the clear text of the, you know, anything. I think that a movie is like a little game in which a lot of people is playing at the same time and experiencing different things. So it is important always to catch people's feelings, like to make them feel and empathize for your characters, so and your story and for whatever you're telling. So it is important to create that bond.
Now, how do you do that? Like, as oh, go, sorry, Dave.
Can you know, just for the people watching who might not know a little bit, not just your background, but can you talk about your influences, the things that inspired you, that made you want to become a director and a filmmaker first, that then can probably inform where you went on and what you continually tried to do as far as being a filmmaker and engaging the audience in their emotion and their feelings?
Well, I actually started watching horror movies when I was a kid. I was like, I remember watching like an American Werewolf in London and Videodrome Creepshow that came out like more or less at the same time, and on a theater, and I was probably like 9, 8. Yeah. So I probably didn't understand anything about that, but I was fascinated by the special effects, by the makeups and everything. So that's where I tried to start, like making special effects. And I worked as a special effects guy for a while because I always loved to know how did they do that? Like, right. I was always trying to, okay, so how did that work? Like, where's the, you know, tell me the trick. Explain me how it works. And then because of that, I started like watching. I've always loved movies and all types of movies, but I first started with horror, and then I opened up a little. Obviously, Star Wars being one of my biggest influences in terms of just sitting down in the couch and just enjoying for 2 hours a great experience.
Who I'm just curious, who introduced you to these movies, and who was it? Who brought you to the theater to see these movies at probably an age that would be considered too young? So who was that influence?
Yeah, well, my parents were not that happy that I would be watching those movies. Basically because I had nightmares and I used to sleepwalk when I was a kid.
Really?
So the more horror I watched, the more I would, start waking up at night.
Wow.
Yeah, it took me a few years, but it's so good now, I think. But then I had this great uncle who was my dad's uncle, and he would take me behind their backs to the theater to watch these crazy movies. So he's to blame, I guess, a little bit.
Okay.
A little bit, yeah.
Nice.
Yep.
Well, I would ask you, to forge a directing career over the last 20 years has been, hard. It's a very difficult road to travel on, and I would ask you, and yet you have kept going. You've never, like Dave and I, we certainly bang our heads up against the wall, and yet we still continue. What is it that keeps you going? I mean, you're a storyteller. You've made, you were a trailblazer for us. I mean, our own film, The Hills Run Red, would not have existed if you had not made Return to the House on Haunted Hill, which, by the way, I love. Just saying.
Well, we have to mention too. That was again. Just to give everyone else context, Return to House on Haunted Hill was the first of the Dark Castle Warner Premiere collaborations.
Yes.
And it was a very daunting one because they decided they were going to make probably one of the first interactive movies, especially for home video.
Yep.
So you had a whole set of challenges, not just making a feature film, but then also dealing with making an interactive point.
Yeah, choose your own adventure.
You had way more demands than we did, and way more cachet, and you were following up a very successful first film, which started Dark Castle.
Yep.
Which had to be in a way daunting when we're talking about fan service, and there's many aspects of some of the productions that you worked on that are fan service, because you have worked on a couple of sequels as well. But how not how you approached it, because that's all mechanical. It's like, well, we had extra scenes and we had to shoot extra scenes. But for you, how did you approach this sort of daunting thing where it was like, oh, well, I'm following up a successful movie, and what percentage did you even have to think about and consider that original movie with what you were trying to do with the second one?
By the way, I just want to point out, I'm not the only one that asks difficult questions. Just saying.
Right?
I mean, Dave, I'm just saying, Victor's like, I just woke up and I'm here in Europe having a good time, and you guys are like, what am I in college now? Like, what the hell's going on? Just saying.
I was just, by the end, Dave, man, I was just trying to think.
What's he saying?
Did the question? when did the question started? I don't know for how long have we been.
All right, let me simplify it.
Don't you love this show, Victor? It's so good to see you.
Yeah,
and you're like, wow, it's really great to see my American friends again. What the fuck am I doing?
I know. It's like, hey, Victor, come
on. You look
on.
great, though, dude. You look great. Fantastic.
So what bands are you listening to now? Let's just make it easy. Like, come on. Yeah, I was like,
can we follow you on Instagram?
Yeah. Where do people follow you? And yeah.
No.
No, but seriously, okay. So let me simplify it. What was there or was there not any pressure as far as following up House on Haunted Hill to do Return to House on Haunted Hill?
Not really.
Okay.
Not really. I mean, I think that they were pretty open to do just a sequel and try this interactive experience. They thought that it was William Castle, right? House on Haunted Hill. So
yes.
the whole choose your own adventure version, it's what maybe he would have tried to do that, And the first time that they approached me with the project, they had this idea. They released I think it was Final Destination 3.
Yes.
That was a movie that it had like a special edition in which you could several times choose which way to go.
Yes, on the DVD.
On the DVD, and then you had like an alternate version of that day.
Right.
Like, but then you would go back to the original, to the same plot and the same. And when we were discussing about it, I told Eric
Olson.
Eric Olson. How cool would it be to just do like the choose your own adventure books, like in a way in which maybe in one of the options, I mean, all the guys die because of a bad choice, and let's just try to play in a way in which we actually have a different movie every time that you choose a different option. And that was the time that they were releasing HD, DVD, and Blu-ray.
Yes,
it
was a very big thing. It was a very
very
big push.
They really wanted to sell this and just to do something interesting, and they explored if they could actually achieve it technically, and they said, yeah, we can do it. So then became the nightmare. Like, it was not enough for me to make a movie out of a short film in which there's a guy naked for 4 minutes and on screen and he doesn't even talk. And I was doing this crazy movie with that it came out with 6 different endings and it has like 96 permutations.
I mean, yeah, you were thrown into the fire.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, and I was actually willing to, because it was my suggestion in the first place. So it was like, okay, we gotta do this. Like, I don't know how, but and it was a struggle. It was hard. It was like the biggest puzzle I've ever shot. But it came out in a very funny way, I think.
I think it came out. I think it came out great, and I think it's underappreciated as a film just standing on its own, and especially following up a much higher budgeted movie, which is always a really difficult thing. But the thing that I was always lucky with you, especially, is when we were getting ready to do Hills, that you and I connected. I reached out to you because it was like you had the experience of Bulgaria, you had the experience with that crew and with the line producers and everything else, which at least gave me a little bit of a sense, and I'll always be grateful for it because it gave me a little bit of what to expect when I got there, though we had very different things. And I think, I think the thing is, I think you showed your vision and your skills and your talent so much more than I did to give the line producers a bit more ease, and there was a little less pressure potentially. That it was always inspiring to me, and it always has. I always say that your vision, your style, and everything is something that I always aspire to. Because
Dave, can I just stop you for a second?
But no,
please do it. Drop, do it.
Dave. As the producer of The Hills Run Red, I would say that the entire film, all of it, from its psycho killer to its conception, I mean, it was all you. And I when we started working on this, like my whole desire in life was to create a company where I could work with talented people that would make cool shit that I couldn't do. And I could not come up with the conception of Babyface. And while perhaps, it doesn't have legendary status like Friday the 13th, there are people that have had tattoos of Babyface on their bodies, and you created that. Like you thought it up, you designed it,
Rob.
You made it, and no, I'm just saying. Victor's
I-
Victor just said, "Rob, please step in here."
No, I know
I'm gonna step in.
And that's exactly what I was going to say, but in good English. So it's like,
yeah, well,
but I'll 2 points. One,
by the way, wait.
Victor is a very humble person, and two, no man is a mountain. No man is it's like it's Babyface came from a lot of talented artists. Whether I helped develop it or not, it wouldn't have happened without those people.
Okay.
Victor,
That's great.
That's what you do as a director.
But I will always say this: that Victor is a visionary, and he has always elevated all the material that he has worked with. And
I would say this
visually as well.
I would say this 10 years ago in Sitges in Spain. Here's Victor and I. In case you want to see, I mean, look at that guy. Come on. I've been working on this show for Showtime or for HBO, Cinemax. There's me and Victor outside the Grand Melier, the actual theater or the hotel from Sitges. And this is, by the way, is like at 9 a.m, just so you know.
And yet
it's
now
all
Victor has been an official judge for Sitges.
Well, yes. Yeah. So for people who don't know, the Sitges Film Festival is my favorite film festival on the planet Earth. And it's something that I dreamed of and wanted to be at. And Sitges is a town on the Mediterranean about 20 kilometers outside of Barcelona, south of Barcelona. And my first film, Free Enterprise, had its world premiere there in 1998. And in 2011, this TV show that I was directing for, Femme Fatales, was brought to Sitges. We showed episodes. I mean, it was amazing. And to be there with Victor and the people that we went with, it was one of the most magical times in my life. Let me just say.
I know, and the saddest part is, I think, Victor, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the last time that you and I were actually in the same physical space was Sitges. Maybe?
Really?
No, dude.
No. That's right.
We would go to Bordeaux. We would go to Bordeaux.
That's right. You were in Los Angeles after that, but
yes, we would go to Bordeaux.
As you said, it's been way too long.
Yeah, but I think what I have to say about Victor, I have to say about you.
Oh, but I just want to say, Ash said 10 years ago, Jesus, what unicorn blood have you guys been drinking? Some really good fucking unicorn blood, let me tell you. And you know what? It's harder and harder to find, except if you're overseas in Spain like Victor is. And then it's easy.
There's no better country. Look at that. The lament configuration. Victor opened, you know what? He'll tear your soul apart. But I will say this. I mean, 10 years ago, in Sitges, bringing those ridiculous episodes of Femme Fatales, I mean, what people don't quite understand is that film festivals are places where we can go and it's amazing all the work we do, and we don't get credit for it. We toil, and we're in dark rooms and trying to make stuff happen. When you go to Sitges is a place of complete joy. It is a city on the edge of the Mediterranean, and you go there and it's like being at a science fiction convention. It's the gay capital of Spain from May to October, and then October 2nd or 3rd or 4th, then the LGBTQ people leave and the horror fans move in.
The horror, science fiction, and fantasy fans come in.
It is one of the greatest places on the planet Earth. And if you have I've been going there since 1998, and I've been there. I was in 98, 2001, 2009, 2011. It's unbelievable. And you get the Spanish. I mean, first of all, everything is kind of better in Spain. Victor, am I wrong? Like, if you're in Spain, everything in life is just kind of a little better in Spain.
Well, I gotta say,
the food is better. The women are better.
Look, and Spain and Sitges was definitely one of the greatest places that I've ever gone to. And when we were there for Hills,
2009.
it was 2008.
No,
it was. You're right. It was October. You're right.
We made the movie in 2008. We were there in 2009.
Right. It was 2009. Right before, but
where you went on a limo ride with Herschel Gordon Lewis. The Wizard of Gore.
But I will say this: as great as that was, the only time that I actually felt like, okay, now I feel comfortable is when Victor showed up. It was like, okay, now I have a brother in arms who's there with me, and that made
Victor is the party monster. Come on, when Victor shows up, the party starts. Come on, Victor, you know it.
That was.
It's true.
And Victor and I both. Rob and I, Victor and I both know that Rob makes the party wherever he is.
Oh no!
Exactly.
No!
You were the one who found the one bar that was open that we all went to. You found these places, Rob.
Look at that guy's face. Come on, I can't do it without Victor. Come on.
Yeah, but Rob's voice is all you're gonna hear.
That's true. That is true.
Oh my God,
Rob!
There you go, Mr. Big Boys.
There was a question for you, Rob. Because someone said, "Does Rob only do horror films?" Rob, tell other people the other film stuff that you've been involved with, so that they know. I know you've talked all this time, but there was a question: is like, does Rob only work on horror films as well? I've admitted that that's where my tiny little focus has been. But you take over for a minute, I'm going to excuse myself for 1 second, and I'll be back.
Oh, good. Well, I'll just talk to Victor.
And you and Victor, yeah. Then you can just talk about me behind my back.
Okay, no. There's something we haven't talked about, and I'm going to point this out. So, Victor, just so you know, Victor, once again, here's you and I at the Grand Melier on the top in Sitges. I mean, look at that guy. Come on, look at that handsome devil. So, I would ask you, Victor. Obviously, I got to ask you about your action figure photography. Now,
yeah.
I do a show every week about 1/6 scale action figures, and I did not know that you do action figure photography. That is exquisite. Like, it's amazing. And like, if someone doesn't know what I'm talking about, look at this is a Victor Garcia photograph of 2 Hot Toys figures from the sequel trilogy. It's Han and Leia. It's a scene that we never got to see. It's a scene that we should have seen. It's a scene that we wanted to see. Now, I have to ask you, Victor, bruh, your action figure photography is the Star Wars we all wanted. And I look at your work, I mean, you're taking pictures of action figures, and you make me fucking cry. What made you start taking pictures of action figures? How did you do this? I mean, you follow you on. First of all, tell the people at home, where can they follow you on Instagram?
Oh well, this is the account, the Star Wars account. It's Coleccionista de Plástico, which I will probably have to write down for you.
Well, I mean, okay, in case, like, look, here is the album cover. Here's Queen's, Bohemian Rhapsody. I mean, come on. These are action figures. And Victor Garcia is, you talk about visionary, you talk about a director. This is fucking direction, my friends. I mean, this is amazing. Look at this. Look at that. There's the Emperor. I mean, my God, Victor. How did you start doing this? Like, what made you start shooting pictures of action figures?
It's just, I don't know. I had like 4 or 5 of them at that time.
Come on now.
Only.
How many do you have now, Victor? How many Hot Toys figures do you have now?
Like 17, I guess.
17. Okay.
I mean, no, come on.
Gosh,
look at yourself.
Look, this is the first Hot Toys figure I ever bought. The Endgame Captain America. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that was the first one you ever bought.
That was the first one I ever bought.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I don't know. Gosh. So what made you start?
The thing is that, I mean, I guess that this big pandemic, this thing that's kind of a thing lately for the last year and a half. I was shooting this TV show, and then we got shut down. We were like 3-4 days before finish the shooting, and I was at home, like, and that same day that the show was shut down because of the pandemic. I mean, the whole country got shut down, so we had to stay at home like the whole time, and I had the action figures, and I started like thinking.
Yeah, 5 of them.
I'd love to
just
take
5.
like a good picture with this. And yeah, I mean, whatever.
Sure.
And I
5.
started like enjoying it. And I kept my collection growing because I was running out of ideas.
Yeah, because you had to buy more. Dude,
that's basically
I know what it's like. It's like, I need to take one more picture. I need this character from this movie. Click. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
You know how that works, right?
But I got to say this, because obviously Victor and I have talked during the pandemic. As we do, we at least try to make sure that we talk once a month. Because Victor is one of the most important people in my life. He is constantly an inspiration to me on what he's doing. So when I started to see these photographs and everything, I was not surprised, because again, this is what I like about these photos. What he has done is they're indicative of him. I mean, if people want to know, it's not just his love for Star Wars, but again, he just sees things so visually, and it's so inspiring to me that he does the way he sees things and what he does, that that's what I was really interested in. And but I do want to like go into a little bit of what you can talk about. I mean, and we'll get to some of the past work as well, but I know people want to know, during the pandemic you were doing these photos, but then you were working on this TV series, and I was wondering if you can tell everyone what that is and where they might be able to see it worldwide. And you just came off of directing another movie as well, and I don't know what you can talk about, but I think everyone, including us, would be really interested in hearing about that.
Well, the show, I was shooting a very extensive and very and a pretty tight second unit on a show called The Innocent. It's a Netflix show.
Yeah.
Okay. Based on a Harlan Coben book, and then I started like writing down a treatment with Beto Marini, who's a producer, writer, friend, and basically it got picked up, and we, started writing drafts and versions of the script. So we started shooting that project like a couple of months ago. Like I just wrapped. I basically wrapped this movie and moved to a new place in the last 10 days.
Right.
So it's
Victor,
everything is kind of half empty here, and yeah.
Clint Baker, who's watching right now, asks if you could direct any major franchise that isn't horror, what would it be? Would it be Star Wars?
Oh, wow. I would certainly love to do something, I mean,
The Mandalorian, right? The Book of Boba Fett.
Let him answer, because I bet Victor has thought about this, and it's like, if he was going to do something in the Star Wars universe, I bet he has an answer.
Yeah. So guess what? No, I have no answer. I mean, I would absolutely love. I really enjoy the Mandalorian, the TV show, and I'm really looking forward for Obi-Wan. Obviously, I think it's the one that gets me more interested. It's going to depend on how that show works. That the rest of them are probably going to work, a direction or another. So it's kind of let's see what happens with that. I'm really excited about it. A franchise or a
like a pre-established property.
Well,
that is not horror.
And by the way,
that would be. There are so many great characters in Star Wars that would probably be like a Shocker or something like that would be great.
Well, speaking of that, I have to put up. I'm putting up one of your. This is probably my favorite of your Star Wars pictures that you've done. And Harry Nice Guy says, Victor, how long does it take you to make these pictures? How much time from the idea until the release? How do you process the looks and the images to make these photos? And that's what Harry Nice Guy asks. I mean, my God, Victor.
Okay.
I mean, you're creating.
I mean, that in a way is like a Caravaggio painting.
I mean, my God. I mean, you are creating with action figures. Well, you
can't see it. It's the one with the one with the Emperor sort of in soft focus with Anakin in sharp focus. Yeah.
And I mean, what you do with your pictures is what we all wanted to see in the sequel trilogy. Like you're creating moments of time that, my God, I wanted to see that, and we didn't see it.
I guess me too. That's why I kind of I was missing that, so I wanted to see it somehow. And having the action figures gives you second chance. So. And trying to answer the question, I think it depends on the picture. Like at the beginning, I had no idea how to do them, so I would spend like 5 hours and not get nothing. Now I spend probably like an hour and a half taking the picture, and then I spend some time editing or adding layers. I try not to process them too much. Like most of the pictures with a background. That background is either like some board or something that I put behind the picture, the action figures, or I use the screen as a background, like a TV screen. So.
But why Star Wars, Victor? I mean, you're a horror guy. You're like a pinhead guy. Like obviously, we all love Star Wars, but
they don't have Hot Toys pinheads.
Well, come on now, Dave. I wanted to lead him. I wanted to lead him in that direction. I have to say that, like, I look at your photography of Star Wars figures. I'm like, I want to live in that world. Where are those movies? And in one image, you're creating something that I wish was real.
He's making them just not Star Wars. They're coming soon. This is the new stuff that he's been doing, that he's been creating.
But it is. I mean, in my head canon, I look at your pictures. I'm like, oh no,
in your head movie, like Simple Jack.
Okay, you know what? All right, I understand.
In my head movie.
You know what? Tropic Thunder. I understand what you're saying. You know what? I'm trying to hold up our guest, Victor Garcia, who I haven't talked to in a long time. I'm trying to admire his work and ask him to talk about it. And you, come on, Dave.
Just disrupt you so much.
I know. And what I want to say is, that Victor Garcia.
That's why I'm here, Rob.
Okay, Victor. What I really wanted to know is, my God, you should absolutely direct an episode of The Mandalorian or The Book of Boba Fett. How can we get you to work on Star Wars? Because those pictures, man, have more emotion.
I'm gonna start
and more...
tagging all the cast and crew, I guess, in my next picture.
Can I suggest this? Okay. So
look, man, if Victor's directing part of The Book of Boba Fett with Mandalorian, we can go to Manhattan Beach. We can go hang out on set
and go to the volume and hang out. Yeah.
Victor directs. I just want to see this shit happen.
And if any one of us is going to actually get to direct one of those, it's going to be Victor. But
he should, because his action figure photography proves he should be directing The Mandalorian.
Here's what I want to see Victor do.
Oh, well.
He's sitting in between us going, okay, here it comes.
Here it comes.
Okay. What should I do?
This is the perfect storm, Rob.
Okay.
You might remember in the early 2000s, there were some novels that came out that were horror versions of Star Wars.
I know. Death Troopers.
The Death Troopers is the one that I would like to see Victor do.
Okay.
As a feature film.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Dude.
Oh, wow.
Okay, here's on Midnight Metal tonight. Victor Garcia should abso-fucking-lutely direct Death Troopers. By the way, it'll be on Disney Plus, so I don't know what they're going to do with it, but it'll be fine. Victor Garcia should absolutely, by the way, you Star Wars fans, hashtag Victor Garcia directs Death Troopers should trend tomorrow.
Yes, come on, let's make this happen. Awesome. Let's make this
come on, man.
Let's make it happen.
And by the way, I already tweeted your own action figure. By the way, if you don't understand how great Victor Garcia's vision is, wait, here's a shot of the. Hang on. This is A New Hope Luke. And if all of you understand that there are two twin setting suns of Tatooine, look at this picture. I mean, my God, Tony Scott, Ridley Scott, David Fincher, they might. Wait, hang on. They didn't do it. That's right. Victor Garcia did this. I mean, that's an action figure. I mean, OMG. By the way, okay. By the way, hang on. Let me just show this. Okay, look at this picture. I mean, here's the Disney sequel trilogy we didn't get. I look at this picture, and I'm like, Victor Garcia in one image gives me what 3 films should have been. Like, oh my fucking good Christ. You know what? Leave it to a handsome Spanish man to make Star Wars what it should be. I'm just saying. I know, Victor. You know what? It's unfucking believable. Just saying, like, oh my God.
Thanks, brother.
I mean, dude, come on, man. That's the movie. The funny thing is, you in action figure photography gave us in images the movie we really wanted to see. Like, we're all like, please, Disney. Please give us a movie we want to see. We're there. We're like, I'll spend $100. I don't care. Just give me a movie. And wait. Hang on. If you don't know what that is for a second, you know what it was? It was this. Victor Garcia in one image right here gives you the 3 Star Wars trilogy. Like, you look at this picture, I don't even know what's happening here. All I know is that a film director, took my favorite action figures and gave me a movie I wanted to see in one single image. And I'm like, Victor, I give it all to you. By God, you should be directing, I think, everything. Like everything. Star Trek, Star Wars, Hellraiser, whatever. Just do it all. But people need to give you the money you need. Like I'm tired of seeing you, like, scrap, Victor needs, like, let's face it, $100 million.
$100 million.
$100 million.
Oh my God.
I could use that.
Yeah, Victor, enough of this bullshit, low budget shit. Like, I know you're polite and all this. Victor Garcia, hello, give him $100 million because his ideas. Just look at his. If he can shoot action figures, imagine what he could do with a real Star Wars movie.
But again, the nice thing is that, Victor is getting to show that in the new stuff, and that's what's exciting to me, at least. And
Yeah.
I look, I agree with you 100%. Out of so many of the directors that I know, very few exceptions of people who are already established in that big cinematic club that we know. I've always said, and I've said it to him, and I don't mean to embarrass you, but again, I think you're the visionary that I aspire to be. And I think that you absolutely do. And I look forward to everything that you actually get to make, because I know it's always going to be something that you do, like, visually and story-wise, creative stuff that I would never think of. So it's really awesome. But I do, without making this an entirely show that kisses your ass,
I was saying, Dave. I mean, I'm like, I'm not seeing Victor's ass, but my God, your tongue is way up in it. It's great. It's fantastic.
Because
Love
my tongue is not up it, because it actually is legitimate and earnest in what I say, and he knows that I do mean this, and I've said it before.
I know, bro.
But
and Victor's like, can you embarrass me more? Like, come on.
I'm
European.
I think, Rob.
Why are you embarrassing me, Dave?
I think you've embarrassed him more.
I showed action figures.
I'll just go. I'll just go.
I totally agree.
But
Victor's like, I'll be the judge of who embarrassed me.
Joe K goes, this dude is getting hard for Victor. Sorry, guys. He's my friend. Come on. I love him. I love him to death. But
come on, man. I saw the Sagrada Familia with Victor. Come on. Come on. If you've not seen the Sagrada Familia and don't understand why it's not done yet, when you go with a real Spanish person, they're like, we don't know why it's not done yet either. Okay.
But
people are like, what's the Sagrada Familia?
Yeah, but let's get beyond get beyond that stuff a little bit.
But cheers.
But first, before we do that, what's the name of the new movie so people can sort of be on the lookout for it, and then I'll ask another question that's not about you
or his ass.
It's not really. We don't. I prefer not to talk about the title, to be honest, because I'm just the one that we have. It's been like a work in progress since the first treatment, and now
such a director.
It seems like there's some people that kind of loves it, and I hate it. I mean, I don't hate it, but it's not really the type of title that kind of matches the movie that I think that would make. So I'm just trying to change that. Anyways, there's going to be a release pretty soon. And then the other question was...
The other question is, talk about a little more about... Give us some of the movies that have been like your inspiration, your love, the things that have really inspired you to do your stuff, to that have helped you form your style of filmmaking.
It's really it's really a little bit of everything, because as I said, like I started watching like horror movies and and obviously Star Wars and Raiders and all those sort of 80s movies that made us love movies and made us wanted to make movies, I guess, right?
Right.
Because we watched them when we were kids, and then there's this thing that we don't realize that those movies, maybe they can keep doing them, but we've been growing up and the movies are still done for the same target. And we don't understand that we are not the target anymore. So that's something that I always hear about, Star Wars and the sequels, either you like them or you love them or not, I mean, are made for kids.
Well, okay.
Wait, hold on. Rob, can you hold your thought?
I will hold my roll.
Can you
hold the roll? Hold the roll. Yes, I will, Dave.
Can you? I apologize for interrupting, but just to level us out a little bit, Victor, give us a guilty, though there are no guilty pleasures. Give us a guilty pleasure. Give us a movie that you know is, in the eyes of the world, maybe not so great, but you love, and it's your comfort food type of thing. Do you have one, or are you going to be pretentious? Go, well, I don't like any bad movies. I only like good.
I probably love a lot of bad movies.
And you can't say The Hills Run Red. It's not fair.
No, because that's not a guilty pleasure. That's a good fucking movie.
Right. Fuck yeah, dude. That's exactly fucking right. It's a good movie. Right. The producers of that movie made sure it was good.
I got my specialist on Blu-ray now.
Fuck yeah, you do.
Yeah.
God damn it.
I did, and I watched all the interviews, guys.
Yeah, I mean, and thank God I kept those tapes, right? Yes, Rob, you did.
Right.
But again, give me a quote unquote guilty pleasure.
No, this is good.
It's hard. I'm not. I used to have, I guess, but I would.
What's a bad movie you love, dude?
But you know what? If you love it, is it a bad
movie? No. Look, when I say bad movie, you know what I mean. You know,
I know, but
it's like me. It's like me going, "Oh, Shopping Mall, fucking love it," and it's like it's a cheesy fucking robot movie in a mall. I'm not saying it's bad,
but Europeans don't feel that way.
No,
like you're asking Victor to quantify a bad movie, and I would say Victor.
I am because look, in Europe there are bad movies too, pal.
No.
They're directed by Jean Reno. They're like Jean Rollin. There you go.
What? First of all, fuck that. No, don't you dare besmirch lesbian vampire films.
Joe D'Amato made some bad movies, pal.
Don't you dare tell me that do not tell me that Fascination or Lips of the Vamp. Don't Lips of Blood. Don't tell me that John
Living Dead Girl. I'll give you.
Yeah,
a lot of
Living Dead Girl is a great fucking movie.
A lot of them are fucking boring.
And by the way, dude, let me just tell you, Amando de Osorio.
Well, wait, the Blind Dead movies. We're talking a whole different fucking thing there.
Let me just say that the greatest moment of my life, my filmmaking life, was Insidious in 1998.
You met him?
No. When a character, Dan Schweiger
that's
says,
right. He mentions Tombs of the Blind Dead.
He says, "Is it true you love Tombs of the Blind Dead?" And the Spanish, they translated it in Spanish and Catalan,
and it got an applause.
I was in the Grand Melier 1500. Like Fina Burnett was there. She introduced the movie. She's not there anymore, but
Female Burnett.
It's 1998. Fina Burnett.
I don't know if I want to see that woman.
No, let me just tell you. No, she was hot. Fina Burnett was.
Of course she was hot.
My God,
she was hot.
Fina Burnett. I mean, Victor's
female Burnett was hot.
No, Fina Burnett.
Fina Burnett. Okay.
What? Can look? I could write a book about Insidious 1998. By the way, Gemma.
Wait, we're getting far.
Gemma, I wish. It's a long story. Anyway, so anyway.
Wait, Victor, I'm going to give you an example. because one of our great viewers, Black Philip Alvarez, goes, "I love Howard the Duck." Another person said, "Brain scan."
That's a good.
Brain scan.
Oh, brain scan. Remember that?
Wow, brain scan. Remember, yeah.
It's
go
awful.
With Howard. I would go with Howard. With that.
You're just being easy now. Come on, man. Stand out.
Of course. I mean, that was.
By the way, Charlie the Unicorn says Victor is thinking these guys are fucking crazy right now.
Victor has always thought that. Victor has always thought that. He knows this already.
For the last 15 years, I've never changed my mind.
That's right. That's right. But Victor, someone wants to know your thoughts on Sallow. 120 days in the.
It's on the Criterion Blu-ray.
That's right.
Right.
They want to know your feeling of.
I had a good time.
Yes. So metal. The most metal
That's
answer.
the most. Hang on.
The most metal answer.
That's fucking some metal.
No, wait.
Fuck yeah.
Rob, you're doing the wrong one. It's got to be the Silver Sphere for that. For Sallow, it's the Silver Sphere, pal.
Okay, all right. It is. I mean, I can't.
That's a whole different level. Oh my god.
Okay, what do you think of?
What's that, Rob? So you don't have the hot toy of Solo?
Of Sallow? Yeah, there's no Sallow hot toy.
Wow,
there are like 4 of them, and they run out. Yeah.
Wow, come on, man.
Yeah, but
show it, Rob. Just
wait.
Bunyan snipe. Sorry, snipe. Sorry, excuse me. I'm reading a little fast. He said Black Roses. Well, guess what? In a couple weeks, I'm doing a live commentary of Black Roses with Adam Green.
Are you really?
Yes.
Why are you doing it on this channel?
Because it's Adam Green and he's got his own channel. He's got his own fans.
I'm just saying. All right, it's fine.
But we'll get Adam Green on this show.
Okay, well let's ask Victor. I mean,
yes.
I let me ask you this, Victor. I mean,
why was Sallow fun for you? Oh, that's the question you wanted to ask, right?
Okay, why was
it fun?
It was transgressive because I think any director.
Rob, I asked Victor, not you.
Okay. Victor, why was Sallow fun?
Fun. Sell it to everyone out there.
In a world without Twitter and Facebook and so many opinions, Solo would have worked. basically because they would have kept loyal to the original idea, and they would have shot the original movie that they were going to shoot instead of just reshooting the whole thing and changing the tone several times during the filming.
Right. Well,
that's a problem.
No,
we're not making movies. I mean, we're making movies for whatever is tested. Like, yeah, because we run this with an audience, and these are their notes, so we're gonna change everything because of that. Like, guys, just freaking, what's the movie you want to make? This is the movie you want to make. Just go and make it. It's obviously the problem is that there are like 750 people saying things about the script, and probably 749 have no idea about how to write a script.
Yes,
right.
But they are making the decisions, and they are taking the choices, and they are designing a movie experience as if they would be designing a package of the new Coke, or it's like, just let the movies happen and let the audience decide if this is good or not, because nobody wants to see a movie like Solo, without knowing what they were going to see. Like, they were already conditioned, but for whatever they had been reading online or watching on TV or on YouTube, or and it's like, just go, experience the movie, and then read the shit. But just go.
Yeah. Okay.
Here's the
Look,
funny thing,
wait,
Rob.
No,
You
wait,
know,
hang on.
It's amazing. I just want to point out that, you know, it's amazing, and thank God that we have reached out to Europe and guests who are up in the morning to be way more eloquent than we can possibly.
Listen, Dave. What are you
Get
saying? We're
together.
not eloquent. Come on, man. Come on. Seriously.
Wait, what beer are you drinking right now? What beverage
I'm
are
not
you
drinking
having?
beer. I'm
You
drinking.
just
you
took
mean
a
this?
sip of what's that? What is
This is
that?
sake. It's Nagori sake.
Oh,
And
You're
I'm also
drinking
drinking.
sake
I'm
from-
also drinking whiskey mixed with Zevia.
Oh, what kind? What flavor? People want to know.
Whiskey and sake?
Yeah, whiskey
Yeah,
and sake. Americano. Yes. No,
Alright.
Zevia Cola.
Fine.
Zevia, like here. By the way, I'm mixing it with my
Don't
whiskey.
start wars.
Don't mix it with the sake.
Oh God!
No, I don't. The sake's here. And
That's why it's in its own bottle.
Good.
It's like,
Okay.
I
Here's
just
the
like the
thing.
way it tastes.
Okay, here's the thing. The entire ideal of midnight metal is I don't get to drink during the week, and this basically this show is an excuse for me to get drunk.
So
be honest.
basically,
Excuse for you. Okay, fine.
yeah,
Yeah.
basically, Rob is using me as an
You're
enabler.
using us, right?
Okay, no.
Now I get it.
Okay, boys, that is not true. I mean, the whole point is to be drunk and be intellectual at the same time.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's a challenge. It's a seesaw.
Well,
On the
look,
show.
look, Victor. I mean, you have had a long career. I mean, a lot
It's
longer
just
than.
look. It's just starting.
Yeah, but I would say Victor has had a long career. Yeah. He's worked in the industry in various capacities. He's done TV shows. He's done movies. He's done
special
photography.
He's done makeup.
Special effects.
He's done
Yeah,
makeup effects.
He's done a lot of things, and what I've always admired about Victor Garcia is he is somebody that is a consummate filmmaker. You know, he's not just a director. You know, he'll get on set and do makeup effects, and he'll
Not
write.
anymore. He's above. He's reached above that.
Yeah, of course. But he look, Dave. You and I have been. We were monsters in Lurking Fear for Full Moon in 1993. Like we. Like, I think...
Dude, I was the fucking Shrieker in the Full Moon movie, Shrieker.
Okay, but I would say that Victor...
I played monsters. I know these things.
But Victor, like us, like, if you are a filmmaker, you know, creating images, creating myths is something you do. It's part of your lifeblood. You don't ever stop. And like... You actually sent me Victor's pictures of Star Wars action figures, and you know I love Hot Toys. And the reason I love Hot Toys is because having one is to have emotion, to feel something.
To have a capture in time, I mean, because they are so perfect. The only Hot Toy I own is because of you.
And I gave you one.
And you gave me it. And the only Hot Toy I own is of Brandon Lee as the Crow.
The Crow.
And it is so photorealistic that it stuns me. It's overpowering because of the detail and the greatness of it. So I really do appreciate your love of it. I can't afford them.
Let me just I'm gonna show one more picture. Like here's a photograph that Victor did, and you can see in the bottom right corner. I mean, here's a picture of Han and Leia using Disney sequel trilogy action figures. Here's something we didn't get. We didn't get this, and I look at this photograph, and I look at Victor as a filmmaker. He takes action figures and he's shooting movies, even though well, hang on.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
No. I just want to say I look at that picture and I think everyone who looks at that picture is like, where is that movie? we all wanted that film. And Victor, through his photography of fucking action figures, is giving us. You asked Dave originally, tonight's show was, what is fan service? Well, Victor's not giving us fan service. Victor is giving us what we should get, emotion. And he's two plastic 6-scale action figures. He creates more emotion in one image than we got in 3 movies that cost $1 billion. Actually, well, yeah,
I agree with you. And what I was going to say, and damn, Victor's so cool he doesn't blush. He's
Spanish, and all Spanish people are way cooler than we are.
But the thing is,
Whatever.
the thing is, what I love about those, and here's the thing, I don't want to detract because the thing is, what people really watching need to be looking at is Victor's movies and the things that he's done there. That's more important. That is
it's true.
Incredibly important. But what he what he has done with the photography is captured emotion that people are not getting out of the movies, and he's doing it with inanimate figures, and yet still creating emotion with what he is doing, and that's incredibly impressive.
Well, that's what a director does, and that's why Victor is a great director.
Yes.
And here's the thing: if you haven't watched his shit, look at this. I mean, look at this. Honest to God, here is a photograph that Victor Garcia made. These are action figures. Action figures. I mean, my God. Okay, I'm just saying. I mean, only because you sent me his figures, action figures. I'm just saying that like that image alone.
I know.
I look at that and I think all of us, everybody who loves Star Wars looks at that picture and goes,
and wanted that moment.
Yeah.
And that's
that
was the thing.
Victor made a moment we all wanted. And how crazy is that? But he used inanimate objects. He used Hot Toys figures. And by the way, sequel Hot Toys figures. If you want to buy Hot Toys Stormtroopers, you can for very cheaply, whatever.
But Victor, can I ask you to just deviate a little bit from the photography? What have you been watching recently that has either piqued your interest or inspired you? What are some of the? I mean, there's been a lot of stuff that since we've all sort of been in quarantine, and a flood of stuff, TV series as well as films. What is some of the stuff that has, and it could be just even re-releases on, say, Blu-ray or 4K that you have gotten excited about? What during this time? What has gotten you excited? What is either like inspired you recently that is new, or old stuff that
really new,
or old stuff that you're revisiting that has gotten you excited again?
Yeah, I think we've talked a lot about the fact that once I'm in the middle of pre-production, I just can't stand a movie. Like, I just can't focus on anything. Like, I got distracted, so I don't fully enjoy it. So I basically paused everything right after, till right after last week. One of the movies that I wanted to catch up with that I wasn't able to watch in theater was Saint Maud.
It's so good.
It's
and it was like, wow, that's awesome.
Yeah,
and great storytelling,
really great,
really
everything.
Different. And for everyone who's watching, they can, if you're in America and you have Hulu, you can check out Saint Maud.
Saint Maud is really, really good.
What else? Is there anything else?
Not much, because I think that the last time that I went to a theater actually was I actually watched David Cronenberg's Crash, the 4K restoration and everything. And right after that, I mean, it's hard to decide which movie are you going to go and watch next in the theater, because it's quite an experience. And I remember I've seen the movie several times, but watching it again in this 4K, the sound was just ridiculous. And I was what we were talking about earlier on, about feeling a lot of stuff.
Rob
totally engaged.
Yeah, Rob and I had I would like to say is the penultimate, the most ideal Crash experience, where
yes, we did.
Rob and I were at the first and only
Sunset 5
at the Sunset 5 in Hollywood. The first and only preview screening that was ever performed for Crash, and we were sitting in a row full of our friends, and you and I were the only ones that at the end of the movie were like buzzing. And the thing is, with Crash, I walked out of that screening and I was physically buzzing. It was and then we're sitting we're standing there in the lobby, and and there's a bunch of us filmmakers, and we're all talking, and you and I are listening to everyone going how much they didn't like the movie.
Yeah.
And didn't get it, and they didn't like it. And you and I were the only ones that like were buzzing. We were like,
we loved it.
It was amazing. Then I looked over and I said, Rob, David Cronenberg is right over there.
And not only was David Cronenberg,
and it was Jeremy Thomas as well.
And now
and and you and I went over to talk to both
we went out. It was outside. We were still in the lobby when we talked to them. Because I remember this, because I was so surprised that David Cronenberg was as short as he was. Well, I have to say, I mean, it's funny because we
said you temp scored it with scanners.
Yeah. Oh, dude,
we said that to Cronenberg, and then we were like, "Do not change a frame."
That's exactly
of this movie.
That's exactly.
Don't change a frame. Right? This movie is perfect.
You and I. It was so funny because it had already won the Palme, the word of France. They loved it, and they didn't give it the Palme d'Or. They said for audacity or whatever. Yeah, and I mean, I when I was a kid in 1980, I one of the first drive-in movie experiences I ever had was Motel Hell, and I went there with a guy. It was so weird. When I was 13 years old, I hung out at this video store that this guy named Bud Warner ran. And he was a very sketchy dude, and my parents were like, I lived in the video store. I'd take the bus. I'd be like, oh my God, I was just sitting this as a 13-year-old. I'm like, oh my God, like this is amazing. And so he was like, so kid, you want to go see more movies? And I'm like, okay. So this guy takes me to see Motel Hell, and at a drive-in, and it was a double bill. Well, and the second film was
yes, I know where you're going. Hold on, I have to interject. Anyone who loves Motel Hell, get the Scream Factory release where my commentary with the director is on it. That's how much I love Motel Hell.
So like,
sorry. This is what we do here. We fucking nerd out.
So I'm 13 years old, and I'm like with a guy who's like 36.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure he touched you in places he
didn't. He never did. What he saw was a kindred spirit. He saw me as a young, fledgling imagination connoisseur, and he's like, Motel Hell is opening at this drive-in, and he's like, you should come. And he was a mentor. He never, there was nothing untoward. He was a guy who was like in his 36 late 30s, and I was a kid that hung out at 13 at this video store, and he's like, let's go see a film.
Let's go see. They came from within.
No, it was Motel Hell.
Oh, wow.
And the second bill was They Came From Within. Motel was fine. It takes all kinds of...
How dare you, sir?
Dude, at 13, when I saw They Came From Within, that shit blew my fucking mind. I mean, I have to tell you, the body horror Cronenberg shit blew my fucking mind. And now, let me tell you, so in Seattle, when Scanners opened, they had a David Cronenberg event where they showed They Came From Within, Rabid, The Brood, and then Scanners. But you had to see you had to see Rabid, The Brood, or They Came From Within, Rabid, and The Brood first. So I dragged like 5 of my friends to downtown Seattle, and it was R-rated. We couldn't get in, and so. So I walked down and I like looked at the people in line.
You found some
I'm
old
fucking
dude.
13. I'm like, hi there. Hello.
Like a crack addict.
Yeah, I'm like, but I was 13. I was very cherubic, and I said,
like, hey, man. Get us into
but I was like, hi. Me and my friends really want to see this new David Cronenberg.
Excuse me, sir.
May I have some more? So, and by the way, they let us in. That guy, like, sure, fine. So it was me and 5 of my friends, like Mark Elfendahl, and it was amazing. And we watched 4. We watched They Came From the Rabid, The Brood, and then Scanners. And it was the most mind-blowing shit ever. And I'm thinking, like...
Literally.
Oh, I like that. Oh, Scanners was the most mind-blowing shit ever.
Dude, no.
Literally.
Okay, hang on. I'm talking about the transgressiveness of body horror. Whether you have a thing out of your... Or whatever. The Brood, psychoplasmics, all that shit. I mean, the fact was, I was 13 fucking years old, man. I mean, it was 1980, dude. Like,
I am a proud owner of the book, The Shape of Rage.
Well, all I can say is that Victor knows. He knows. Like, he's European.
He knows.
It wasn't as transgressive. But let me ask you, Victor. What was the movie that you saw that you knew you really shouldn't have been seeing? Like when you were a young man watching the horror films or whatever, was it The Fly? Was it Invasion of the Body? The Thing? What was the movie you saw? Like for me, my mom saw me watching I Spit on Your Grave, and she wanted to put me into therapy. But what was the movie that you saw that maybe your mother
we could have gotten a whole new Rob if his mom had put him into therapy.
No.
I probably could have skipped at that time Necromantic.
Oh my God!
Now we're talking.
Right. Oh my God! Okay.
Now
wait.
we're talking punk.
No, Victor. So, please explain to the folks at home what is Necromantic. Explain to them what it is.
It's about extreme pleasures and finding.
You're so.
Oh my God! I love Spanish people. I love them.
I'm so not gonna talk about eyeballs and and the stuff that goes on in those movies. But yeah, that was pretty fucking intense, and I can say that I can't tell a lot of specifics because it's one of those movies. I watched 2 of them in a row. All right, so
1 and 2, yeah, baby.
Yeah, of course.
Let's just do it. And I haven't watched them since back then, and I do have like images like stuck in my brain from those movies. I could deal with They Came From Within and Rabbit. I kind of find it like it was at another level. But yeah, necromantic really.
Oh, that's awesome.
You goddamn Europeans. York Butker, right?
York Buckwright.
Yeah.
From Germany.
From you know what? I'm going to talk to Dieter tomorrow.
Dieter, yeah. Oh, yes.
Have you seen?
Does he? I guarantee he owns, because they're now on like Blu-ray special editions.
I don't think he does. I don't think he does.
Oh, really?
He should. Being German, he should, but he might be shamed.
Well,
the interesting thing about all of this sort of like that was the thing. It was like we because of when we grew up in the video era and everything else, we got into all this subversive shit, and then we were like, then it was, let's challenge ourselves with the sickest shit we could find. And the thing is, when we were, just so everyone knows, when we were, at our age looking at this stuff, Cannibal Holocaust was not available, not really available.
Nor were the guinea pig films.
But Faces of Death was.
Yeah. Yep.
And that was like, oh shit, we're watching some shit, until you find out half of it is fake. But that's fine, because there's still a power with the movie. I remember seeing that movie on Hollywood Boulevard on a double feature with Silence of the Lambs. It was Silence of the Lambs and Faces of Death. And boy, talk about a fucking depressing double feature you're going to go see. You walk out of that theater and go, oh, I need a drink.
Well, okay. I just want to, like, once again, here's a photograph that Victor Garcia took of his action figures. And I would say, no, it's not of necromantic, Dave. Let me just say, it's the Emperor. It's the Emperor with Vader and Luke's swords, laser lightsabers crossed. And I just would like to say, I'd like to read something like, Cardinal Sin sends in a tip and says, death metal is kind of metal. Right? Not to bring anyone down, but my dad died on Thursday morning, and I didn't have to follow that. It was nice to see Mike again. Oh, hang on. Wait. It was, everything got changed. Hang on, that was not. I'm sorry about that. No, it is, and I want to go back to that. So, death metal is a kind of metal, right? Not to bring anyone down, but my dad died on Thursday and will be interned today at noon with Shiva services beginning at 6 p.m. So, to the degree that that's metal, say the Kaddish for Zamir Bevel. Well, Gil, I will say, Zamir Bevel, I will say that. I will say the Kaddish, yes. I'm sorry for your loss. Yeah.
It's very tough. I know. And so does Rob.
Yeah, me too, unfortunately.
And Victor, losing your dad, losing your parent is a horrible fucking thing.
No, you can't. I mean, I have to say, I lost. You know, it's funny. I mean, Dave, my dad was in Free Enterprise.
Yes,
and
I met him, and great man.
Yeah, he was. What was very funny about my dad was, it's funny. You never think you're gonna lose your parents. You don't. I mean, my dad was a party guy.
Mm-hmm.
And he, like, every time he lived in Arizona, he retired there, and I go see him, and we'd have a great time, and I would talk to him every week, and it never occurred to me he would ever die. And when he got sick, when my dad got sick, he didn't want me to know.
Right.
He was like,
my dad didn't either.
He was like, Bobby, I'm like, Dad, are you okay? And he was like, I'm fine. And I would go visit him in Arizona, and he loved horse racing. He loved betting on the ponies. And when he would go there, we would go to Turf Paradise, and he had like the extra the membership. Like we went to the highest echelons of whatever. And what was funny was my dad. All of these people that bet on horses would come to my dad was fucking Yoda. He was Yoda, but I didn't know he was Yoda until I would go there and we'd go to the racetrack. And my dad was only Yoda when actually he was Yoda twice. He would go to the racetrack and then he would volunteer in his retirement community. And he'd be like, well, today I have to oversee the pool. And I'd be like, oh, I'll come hang out with you. I'd talk to my dad. My dad was a chick magnet. I mean, my God, the women flocked to my dad. I mean, they and I'm like, I just sat back and I'm like, God damn, Dad, like you. Well, Victor, maybe he'll come back.
You lost Victor.
Well, he'll come back. Either way, in a world, Dave, if we lost Victor,
we just roll with the punches.
Yeah. Oh wait, hang on.
There he is. Okay,
he's back.
Thank God.
Yeah. Victor's back, maybe.
Yep.
It's okay. Well, he's Victor is not. Oh wait, hang on.
I see him.
I do too. Yes,
but again,
you're back.
But again, yeah, it's very.
Hang on, Victor. Give me a moment. I'm gonna put you back in.
It's very tough to get to that point where you lose a parent, and you were lucky that you were lucky that you had the connection, the bond with your dad that you did, Rob, where that you
oh no
you got to see him in his true element and connect and relate to him as a man. If you know what I mean, you know what I mean.
Oh no, totally. Yeah.
On a level where he saw you as a man, and that you were a man, and it's fortunate that you got to see him in his element.
By the way, let's bring back Victor Garcia, ladies and gentlemen. He might have disappeared, but now look at that face. Look at that face. My God,
he blipped, but he's 5 years younger now.
My God,
that's how we do it.
That's how he does it.
Look at that, beautifully chiseled jaw. For God's sake, come on, man.
That's the whiskey and the sake, man.
Oh, really? Oh, really? Is it? Let me throw that out to the chat.
Oh, God.
Let me ask all of the people watching now. Is it just because I've drank whiskey and sake? Because
they knew you were drunk when you started the show, so
yeah,
I don't know who you're kidding.
Yeah, I'm like, is Victor Garcia not handsome? Come on, give me a break. Come on, people, give me a break. And by the way, if you didn't understand,
I just want to have breakfast. Can you please let me go?
Hey, wait, here's Victor and I. Victor, 10 years ago. Here's Victor and I at the Grand Melier. I just want to say that we were there, and by the way, yeah, we ended up with this, just so.
Shaved head.
Do you? Look, all I know is Victor is not just a great director, he's one handsome man. I mean, come on, man. He knows the most beautiful women in the world. That's all I'm saying. I mean, Victor is not a guy, Victor's like, yeah, I just want to hang out in my house. I'm like, okay, dude, that's great, Victor, but the most beautiful women in the world. And now you're married to one, having kids or whatever. I mean,
he's having. Well, I like how you're projecting. He's having kids already and everything else.
Okay. You know what? Hang on. Say what you want. Let's get back to filmmaking, Victor.
I want to bring this up because you brought up when you went on your Cronenberg spiel.
Mm-hmm.
It's very interesting because again, going back to our topic of fan service, Cronenberg doing The Fly did the absolute opposite of fan service, and yet created his own thing, which is very difficult. But I think why it worked is because just like John Carpenter's The Thing, they were taking things that were B movie, like 50s B movie type things that were, again, in their day, they're great. And if you look at the original films, they're still great.
Yeah.
But again, they figured out a way to be more relevant for today's audience, and I think that's where they didn't have to pay fan service. They were unencumbered by fandom at that time when they made these films, where they could make, and the same with Philip Kaufman. I think, to me, the holy trinity is Philip Kaufman's Invasion of the Body Snatchers, Cronenberg's The Fly, and Carpenter's
The Thing.
Absolutely. Yep.
As far as being totally new, but again, they had enough distance, and it was a time when we weren't inundated with fandom, where everything was under a microscope, and that made a lot of difference. Where now, perfect example, the new Halloween. Halloween has become such a thing now that it is under a microscope, the original, that now when you get this new one that David Gordon Green is doing with Jamie Lee Curtis, it's like, yeah, but we now remember all the sequels in between and everything, and now you're retconning this thing where, to me personally, her, 3 of her friends were killed, and she's been 40 years traumatized. It's like, it doesn't make sense in a lot of ways.
Well, okay, I want to ask Victor a question. So you made a Hellraiser sequel that was budgetarily challenged. Like you get a job, you're not going to say no. And so everyone loves Hellraiser. You love Hellraiser. And you are given an opportunity to make a Hellraiser film, but for 5 cents. Like
5 cents and 12 days of shooting.
Yeah, and you there's no way you can make a Hellraiser movie for what you've been given. And as a Hellraiser fan, you're like, I'm going to make this movie the best it can be. But everyone is making sure that you don't have what you need to do the job you were hired to do. Yeah. So and by the way, I liked your Hellraiser movie. Just so you know, I liked it. I thought it was really good. I enjoyed it because when I watch it, I'm like, I wasn't looking at it like you're excusing yourself or whatever. I'm like, you made the best Hellraiser movie you could possibly make for the money and the what you were given.
Well,
it's fucking. By the way, it's fucking great.
And
for what it is.
And the thing is this: what you have to realize, and of course, casual viewer will not excuse these things. He was hampered by a screenplay. But the thing is, what you have to appreciate with what came before.
Yeah, but
well, hold on. With the Hellraiser sequels, where they were other movies, other screenplays that were not Hellraiser movies, that then they plugged in the Hellraiser element to them. When you saw Victor's, he definitely tried to put in the aesthetic that Hellraiser had in it as much as he could. And the problem was that, he was not given enough time, but support or money.
But here's the thing: was there a problem? Like, for me, one of the things, knowing Victor, like, I went into his Hellraiser film and I'm like, I liked it. Like,
there was the problem, the fact that Doug Bradley would not support it.
Well, I know, and I'm like, that's not Victor's fault. Like,
no, it's not. But again,
I would. The question I would ask Victor is this. I mean, the premise of tonight's show is about fandom and fan service. Like, I would say that you got an opportunity to work in a beloved franchise, and you're like, look, man, it's amazing. I was hired to direct anything at all. Like, to get people do not understand how hard it is to get a job directing a film. So you get a job directing a Hellraiser movie. You're like, wow, that's amazing. Fuck yeah. And then they're like, yeah, you really need $10 million, but we're gonna give you $100,000.
Basically.
Yeah. So
and
you
15 days.
You read the script. You're like, this is awesome. What I need is $10 million, and they bamboozle you. It's like, yes, direct this movie. So, they're like, well, you're not gonna get $10 million. You're gonna get $100,000.
Yeah, had like 300 or 2.
And so, but you're put in a position where, and by the way,
Rob.
What?
Let him talk.
Oh, go. Okay, yes, sir.
No, go ahead.
No,
well,
no.
The
it's
question
it's all on you now, Victor.
The question I would ask you, Victor, is like, no one in Hollywood would ever say no to a directing job. Now, I would ask you, I mean, you are a huge horror aficionado. You know what needs to be done. You get it. You made Return to House on Haunted Hill, which fucking rules, for Warner Brothers and Joel Silver. So, when you're tasked with making something that is underserved monetarily, like it doesn't have the money you need to make it, what do you do? How do you do that?
You work with your heart, and that's all, because that's all you got. You don't have resources, and you don't have anything. I mean, I wanted to say that it's really important to say, obviously it's really important to get a job offered, and it's a big day when you say yes. Fuck
yeah, dude. I mean, oh my God, when you get the job.
A lot of times it's more important to understand that no is the right answer.
Really?
And that comes. Oh yeah, I should have said no to that project.
Yeah.
But wait, hang on.
Because it wouldn't have been like 10 years without seeing each other, because I may have been in LA all this time. You never know.
You know what though? Hang on. Wait. Let me just say. I would rather live in a world with your Hellraiser movie in it. No, seriously, man. Because you know what? It's you did great work, and
Thank you. And I'm happy that I was able to put what we put together in such a tight schedule and time frame. But then again, it's going with your heart. It is great when your mind is at the same place, but when your head is saying, dude, you should think about it, and your heart is like, no, I gotta do it, and you can't reason, and everything goes so fast, and your reps, your manager, and your agent, and say, oh my God, Harvey Weinstein wants you in a movie,
right?
And they are pushing, and you are in at that time I was in Germany, and I got a call at 2 a.m. or something, like, you're going to say yes, it's a great opportunity, you're going to work for Harvey Weinstein, right? Great staff, everything. So, and next thing you know, I had my doubts, but then I said, okay, let's do it. And then I was going to do it, and I did it. And I worked as hard as I could, and I made the movie happen. But did it do anything for my career? Nothing.
Right.
It was maybe a yes, because I can do this with this budget, because this is gonna be awesome. Dude, like really, 12 days, you can't make it look great. It's not gonna happen. Right now I know. At that time I thought I could do it.
Well, let me ask you this. I think people don't quite get this. Like when you're given a job to do something, you don't pick those parameters. They're like, you have to direct this in 12 days. Well, a lot of people don't get that. They're like, well, if you direct a movie, you're an amazing artist. Well, most of us are like, we're just very happy to have a job.
Yeah,
and when you're gonna do a Hellraiser movie in 12 days, like, you can't make it look like 1987's Hellraiser. You can't do it.
Right.
But you take the job. It's like you have a family or whatever, or people, or even if you don't, I want to buy Hot Toys figures to take pictures. I mean, I need hundreds of dollars. Please pay me.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, what I find interesting is that it's still a job. Like all people think, like, whether you work for the city or a mining company or whatever, like when you are hired to direct Hellraiser the way you were, it's a job. Like, you're given like 12 days, and like, it's not like you can't make it like, this is my vision. Oh my God.
No.
And at the end of the day, and by the way, I liked your Hellraiser movie. I thought you did an amazing job directing it. I thought it was very innovative. I thought it was unique. I thought it was pretty cool. I understood that. I'm like David Cronenberg's early movies. I'm like, this isn't Hellraiser 1987. Just like Scanners is not They Came From Within. Like, I get it. Like, I understand. And you have to look at things based on how they were made. And I think that I've always loved your work as a director. And it's for me, like, I think that what we need more of, and I don't know why we don't live in the world that we live in. Why is it that every movie is $65 million? Like, why isn't Netflix, like Jason Blum, making $2 million movies? Why is it that we, as horror filmmakers, why aren't we making $2, $4, $6, $8 million films? I mean, why is it like, my God, they've made a $400 million deal to make an Exorcist trilogy. I'm like, what? That movie takes place in a house. Like, what, $400 million? Give me $4 million or give me $40 million. I'll make you 3 Exorcist movies. $400 million? Like, my God. I mean, you, Victor, you know how to deliver a film on a price for not much money that's really good. And yet, why aren't you making, like, you should be making movies for Netflix every 4 months, right?
He's getting
Ask
there.
Netflix.
Yeah,
he's getting there, Rob. I'm
going there. I'm going there.
He's got a new feature coming, which is very exciting because that's
can we talk about it?
It's more than we can say. No, we can't talk about it. We've already covered this. We've covered this. We'll give people updates when we can.
Yeah, it's gonna be soon. It's gonna be soon. Promise. Yeah.
Yeah. So we just have to be patient. But the thing is, those who wait are rewarded.
But I'm happy with it. It's a horror movie. It's about a bunch of kids.
Now, is it in Spanish?
Yep.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. That's the key, man. I mean, I have to say, watching foreign horror films subtitled is my new jam.
Oh, really?
Oh my God. I love it. And by the way, Netflix, the one thing Netflix does not get credit for is they buy things international. I mean, you can watch Indian cop thrillers. I mean, it's great. And the fact that Netflix is putting,
yes,
I mean, my God, they are say what you want. I mean, they are a worldwide company. They're buying films from all over the world, and thank God for them. I mean, my God, you go on Netflix, you're like, I want to watch a horror film, and if you look it up, it's like, my God, Turkey, you Bastion, my God, a Turkish horror film about cops who find the gateway to hell. Unbelievable. I was like,
unbelievable, really?
Do they? I'm like, but no, and I'm like, do they make horror movies in Turkey? I didn't know.
Yes, they do.
Oh well, I didn't know that.
And they're okay.
Look, you know what? Baskin is pretty fucking cool.
No, it's okay. It's all right. It's all right.
All right,
it's all right.
Just so you know, I thought it was better than just. It's all right.
Rob's maybe more forgiving than I am. Anyway, look, we gotta let this man go.
Yeah. Okay.
No, guys.
We gotta let him go, and it's getting to the 3:00 hour where we have to start wrapping this up tonight, Rob, because tonight, guys, unfortunately, Rob might go differently, but we're gonna wrap this up a little early. At least I am.
Okay.
For me, so it's up to Rob. He can continue, which he might because he's a glutton for punishment.
Dave, you can't just like drop out right now. Just so you know.
I'm not saying I'm dropping out. I'm giving the warning. I'm just saying, but we have to let our guest go because he has been here and he for a good long time, and he's like, please. The coffee hasn't even sunk in yet.
Okay, just so you know, here's me and Victor 10 years ago. Insidious, yes. And yeah, of course we do. And then, by the way, here. Oh well, I know you can't see it, but here's Princess Leia. This is Victor Garcia's picture of smoking Princess Leia. It's so good. It's so amazing. Wow, I love it. So I if you watch on YouTube, Victor, all I can tell you, your photography is awesome. So yes, let's dip into these super chats. But
yes, and then yeah, let's do the super chats, and then Victor, then you can tell everyone where they can find you.
Yes, I mean, my God,
to stalk you.
Oh my.
All right, so what super chats do we have? There's been quite a few that we.
There has been quite a few. People want to talk to Victor, which is good. That's good.
Yes,
it's good. So let me get to the beginning of them. Kaz Graphics, who is the cheesemonger of the channel, Kaz Graphics says, Wu-Tang Season 2. The trailer was released today. I'm proud because you and others have seen some of the promotional art I have been working on through my business. But did you also see Rodney is working in Blackula? It made me excited. Does that mean that Rodney, the man who did the comic book of Philadelphia, is working on...
He is working on a Blackula graphic novel.
Oh my good Christ. How cool is that?
So awesome.
And let me just say, like, Kaz Graphics, he is the cheesemonger of the channel. I mean, he is, by the way, I just have to say, like, I've always said if I was a black man, I'd be like Mike Coulter or Michael B. Jordan. I kind of want to be like Kaz Graphics. Like, he's one of the coolest dudes. If somebody said the Post-Geek singularity has cool dudes, Kaz Graphics is at the top of that pyramid. So thank you, Kaz Graphics. 200 Watt Studio says, "Hey Rob, thanks for last night, man." Well, yeah, you look, 200 Watt Studio. You know, we just were there for you. Thank you.
Do you remember last night?
Yes. Well, come on. And he goes on to say, wasn't the Polka Dot Man Twin Peaks The Return's Vegas pants?
Yes.
Yes, he was.
Yeah, David Ashmal was.
Yes, he was. Yeah. Yep.
Yes,
Yep.
absolutely.
Loyal Subject says, what was your experience like working with Kevin Spacey? That's okay. Okay. The director of Escape Room, Adam Robitel, and I had my experience working with Spacey was not pleasant, and he was flat out very inappropriate with Adam Robitel, who was a champ, and I was there and experienced it, and I'm like, here's the thing, when you are working on a project, don't even if you're the biggest star in Hollywood, do not use your power to subjugate other people that are working to make you look good. That's all I can say.
Yes.
Cardinal Sin says, death metal is a kind of metal, right?
We did this one.
Oh, okay. Well,
we did this one. We did this. I'm just letting you know.
Stomach Shave says, great Zoom meeting yesterday. That was yesterday. The songs that were perhaps not metal, but they were great. I was happy that I didn't have to follow that. It was nice to see Mike again. And now it's great to see Dave in all of his mysterious glory.
Ooh.
Stay metal. I mean, Dave, what is your mysterious glory? And are you metal?
Well, I'm metal, but I can't tell you my mysterious whatever because then there wouldn't be a mystery anymore.
I know. Well, Harry Nice Guy says, for me, a movie has to stand on its own. If you need background from comics or books to understand the story or characters, it's pure fan service. It's not meant for the general audience. What do you guys think? Is that true?
I agree. Yeah, but the thing is, if the filmmaker puts in little nods for those who get it, all the more better.
I agree. S Beam says, The Suicide Squad was a good movie, but not a great movie. On the topic of fan service, this movie was full of fan service with the cameos, but fans of the previous Suicide Squad, I feel, will be let down by this film. Even I had what the fuck moments.
Interesting. Well, I can understand that. I get it.
No, well, hang on. S-Beam goes on. One of two. He says, fan service can be seen in Endgame. If done well, it works. If not done well, then, well, it is disastrous. X-Men Origins Wolverine comes to mind. I would love to elaborate more, but on the Midnighter, it's just not a thing anymore. God damn it. You know what? I'm going to do the Midnighter every fucking Wednesday, just so you know. I'm going to do it because people are pissed.
Just for you guys.
Yeah, like for you. Stubble McShave says, would you consider movies like Austin Powers to have fan service? There are a lot of jokes and nods that only people that are very familiar with the Bond franchise get. The movies work for people anyway, but I would say that the hardcore Bond fans enjoy them more. That's a really interesting question.
Well, I would also think
Dave, Victor, what do you think?
I would think the Matt Helm fans, which goes even deeper, would be more fan service, which the Austin Powers movies definitely have in them, are Matt Helm references as well. But the nice thing is you don't need to know any Bond movie. You get more appreciation, but you don't need to know any Bond movie or Matt Helm movie or any of those sort of 60s spy movies to appreciate the Austin Powers movies.
I think it's more about, it's not that story-wise, but kind of pop culture-wise. Like it's like Spaceballs, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
it's like you gotta see Star Wars to get all the jokes.
I
Not
think
really. The story is totally different. It's just but you have the icons.
I think that
Right?
the Austin Power movies with the sequels became fan service onto themselves more,
Well,
which were more to their detriment in some ways.
well, here's a Clint Baker says, Victor, if you could direct a major franchise that
We did this
is
one.
not
Yeah, we did
horror.
that.
We did that one. We did that one.
Well, hang on. Then he goes on to say, from what I've heard, Jon Favreau wanted to Boba Fett, but The Mandalorian became the first thing he did. To test the waters, he wanted to do a Western in space, like Lucas did. Do you think that The Mandalorian is a Western, and would you direct an episode of it?
I would say yeah. I would direct one episode of The Mandalorian, of course. It has everything a Western has. I think. I think it really works as a Western. Mandalorian.
I agree.
I think it's more of an Eastern. I think it's more Lone Wolf and Cub than it is a Western.
Okay.
But even that was okay. Hang on. S-Beam, to add to this, says the IMDb says Victor was a part of the special effects crew for Hellboy.
Yeah.
Can we hear about that experience? And what did that mean to you?
Well, this is I used to work with DDT, who are the crew responsible of Pan's Labyrinth. That they got the Oscar for that one, and I worked in a lot of movies that they were working on. Hellboy and Devil's Backbone was some of them, and then Told to Her, that was a Pedro Almodovar movie. The thing is that in these huge productions like Hellboy, it's like they have like 7 special effects teams from all over the world.
Yeah.
DDT was one of them, and we basically worked on creating the character Cronin.
Oh.
We worked on that. We basically did that. With the masks and all the mechanisms and everything. And then there was and plus several other things. Basically, we started in Barcelona, but in the shop, but then only 2 or 3 of the crew would go there, which would be David and Montse, who are the main guys there, and then 4 or 5 of us stayed at the shop working on molds and working on new pieces that we had to ship and send to Prague. I think that they were shooting in Prague. It was an intense one. It's really intense to be working. It doesn't matter what your field is, but if you're working in the film industry, it's going to be hard. It's going to be a lot of hours, and special effects. It's really like a time-consuming process. It takes a long time to have the final prosthetic glued on the actor's or actress face.
Well, Harry Nice Guy sends in a super chat and says, Victor, how long does it take you to make these pictures? How much time from
we covered that one too.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm just reading. Okay.
I know. I'm just letting you know. We went through that one.
Did we though?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes. Okay. Yes, he did.
All right then. All right. I'm just saying.
I'm just letting you know. I'm letting you know.
Swack Props says, I loved Innocent on Netflix. It was one of the better made Harlan Coben adaptations with a gorgeous Spanish setting to boot. And it kicked off my viewings of some Spanish Netflix offerings, including The Invisible Guest, Mirage, and the Bezetten trilogy. Do you know those things?
Yeah, well, actually, Mirage is the director of Mirage is Uriol Paulo, who is the main director and writer of The Innocent.
Well,
So
there you go.
Netflix does his things well. Like he can match the project from the same director.
Well, okay, then
Yeah.
Clint Baker also then follows that up and says, Victor, if you could direct any franchise, I mean, did I ask this? I don't know. He says that isn't horror.
Yes, you asked that.
Okay, then there you go. I want.
I know.
I'm not gonna change my mind. I'm not gonna change my answer, Rob.
I'm just looking through. I want to make sure everyone gets their day in court.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then Clint Baker says, Victor gets it. Somebody call Kathleen Kennedy.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
That's metal, right?
That's
well,
so
it
fucking
is.
metal.
And Peter sends a great tip, and he says, keep on rocking, stay metal. Fuck yeah, dude. Fuck yeah, Peter. If that's what you're gonna say, yes. Oh my God, thank you. Clint Baker then goes on to say, do you think that the streaming series format is hurting movies? Do you think that we'll get to a point where a series is more, palatable? And I would add to that, I think one of the great things that I've seen in the last year was Scott Frank's The Queen's Gambit. And he made, in 2017 for Netflix, he made a 7-episode series, a Western. And then he made a 7-episode series about the Queen's Gambit that was an adaptation of a Walter Tevis novel. Victor, do you think that that's the future? Do you think that a 2-hour movie is not where people are at? Like, we want to see long-form TV?
No, I don't think so. I mean, it depends on how you process the whole idea about entertainment and culture. Like, you can just sit down and, okay, I want to be entertained. I'm going to just watch this thing, which is only like 45 minutes. So I don't spend the whole time that I'm going to be spending watching a 90-minute movie or a 2-hour movie, but then you end up watching like 3 episodes with this feeling that nothing has concluded and that you've got more questions than you had before.
Right.
And if you would have watched the movie, then you would have got the whole thing in 2 hours, and you would have experienced the whole thing without stopping 5 times to go to the restroom or the kitchen or whatever. So I think that it's as long as there's people that want to watch movies, movies are going to keep ruling, I guess. TV shows are awesome, but it's just like your dose. Like, you get back home after your day of work, and then you decide which world you want to explore. So you don't think about your issues in the real world. And the thing is that watching a movie is kind of great, but it's just like 2 hours gate. Then the TV show, you can be consuming it like forever, because you've got like so many platforms and so many TV shows that you can be just watching TV all day, or the iPad or the iPhone. That's another thing. I mean, it depends on where the audience decide to watch their shows. I mean, if you're watching a TV show and you're watching it on your iPad, and you're not watching it on TV, maybe you watch your movies on TV and then the rest of it on iPad. I mean, I don't really know how people behave. And, I've watched people, in the bus, like just watching a TV show with the headsets with his phone. It's like,
horrifying, by the way. I hate the idea.
You're getting your dose, but you're not getting, you're not paying attention. You're not paying the right attention.
I know.
Fully enjoying, I think, the whole movie experience.
God damn. This is what I love about, like, having Victor on. I mean, that summed up so much right there. It's amazing. It's like it's like I could not. Thankfully, you're in the morning, so I couldn't express it that well. But yeah, 100%.
I mean, we've talked
amazing.
about it like several times, Dave. I mean,
Oh yeah,
that's how you feel as well. I mean, and Rob, you feel the same way. Like we love film, we love movies. We go to the theater to watch Crash, and we love it because there's something about it, about that experience that we can fully embrace.
Well, what I have to say, what I love about Sigis, I mean, Sigis and Angel and all those people that work there, Sigis is a film festival on the Mediterranean that is designed to love science fiction, fantasy, and horror. And it is specifically designed to have audiences go into an auditorium where we all shut the fuck up. We don't talk. We sit there and we watch films from all around the world. And many people have said to me, like, what is it with you, Rob? Why do you love Sitges so much? Like, what's your... And I said, first of all, before I went there in 1998 with my film, I loved it. I loved the idea of it. I love that there was a place that in the world where audiences loved science fiction, fantasy, and horror, genre films, and they took them seriously. And I felt like where I lived in Seattle growing up, I'm like, nobody took genre films seriously, and like, if you have a monster on screen, people laugh. It's fine. But I was like, you know what? The horror is a metaphor. Great horror is a metaphor for today. I mean, if you make Nightmare on Elm Street or Friday the 13th or Texas Chainsaw, I mean, specifically Texas Chainsaw, is a metaphor for 1975 America. Where are we at? Well, we're at a place where if you break down, other Americans will fucking cut you up with a chainsaw and eat you. That's where we're at, And for me, horror binds us together. We all get scared together. And to see a horror film in a theater is a cathartic, amazing experience, as you know. And that, to me, there is nothing better as an artist, as a filmmaker, if you can get a theater full of people and scare the fuck out of them. Man, that is exactly why we make movies.
Yep.
Yeah. It's all about the look. It's all about the experience. And but again, Rob, I'm just gonna say, I think we need to bring this experience to a close tonight.
All right. Well, let's let Victor go.
Yes.
Victor, first of all, great to see you. You look fantastic.
Man,
I mean, my God. And you're bringing back so many memories of Sigis and also your work and Hellraiser and all the shit you've done. Congratulations to all that stuff. And
thank you.
I mean, my God, all the happiness to you and your family.
Likewise, my friend. Thank you so much. It's freaking awesome to see you guys again, and I hope that we get to see each other like in a same physical space, sharing the same type of beer, or at least the beer is served by the same.
Oh my God, bro! Look, man,
waiter or waitress, please.
We just need to come to fucking Spain. Let's just talk about how great Spain is. Like, Spain, one of the great countries in the world. My God, if you haven't been to Spain, you haven't lived. Just saying.
Yeah.
So,
Victor, before we let you go,
hang on. Sorry.
Just so everyone watching, where where can they find you, follow you, find out more of what you're doing with the not just the photography, but with the new film stuff coming out? So
I'm probably gonna be using Instagram, but it's not like I'm this. I didn't spend too much time. I actually spent more time in my Coleccionista de Plástico account than in my personal one. However, my Instagram account is at Victor GFY.
Great.
That's the easiest way. Instagram.
Hang on, would that be like this picture? Oh my God! Look at the bottom right corner. Oh my God! Look at this photo. Jesus Christ! I mean, come on, man. I'm just saying.
Victor,
what can I say?
Amazing.
Thank you so much for waking up and being on this.
It's always a pleasure.
And your morning, and I miss you, brother. That's
I
the
miss
thing.
you too.
It's like there's very few filmmakers that are real true family to me, and you are, and I'm so thankful for it.
Likewise, totally.
Yeah, and I would say there's very few filmmakers that know how to party like you. So that's all I can say.
Well,
I mean,
God, we know where Rob's priorities are.
You know what? Say what you want.
Mine are a little different. And
look, you know what? When you're making films, you have to have a soul. You have to have a spirit. And my God, to be in Spain with Victor Garcia, to be like the Sagrada Familia, to be at the I mean, come on.
This needs to happen again soon.
Yes.
Please.
And by the way, you know what? Yeah. We need to make 2 movies that you should be the executive producer of that will make films here in America. I'll find the financing.
Like now you're an executive producer, pal. And the director, you got promoted.
No. Dave and I will no. But Victor will make the money. Like
good. He'll make the money, and we'll work for scraps because we're Americans.
Well,
awesome,
he's
fucking metal. Thank you.
Wow, dude. You know what? I'm trying to hook us up. I'm just saying that like we should make you, me, Victor, Darren, Scott. Come on. That's what we should do.
Yeah.
Let's raise money so we can all make 4 $2 million movies. Wouldn't that be great? Why should Jason Blum be the only person that's doing that shit? Why
Jason Blum is spending $400 million now, so
but even
we can already beat him.
Even he said, I don't even know. He's like, I don't know why I'm getting $400 million to make. Like, The Exorcist takes place in a house. My God.
The thing is, it's not.
By the way, we got Victor. We have to let him go.
We got to let him go.
Victor,
Exorcist is not a remake.
Thank you so much, man.
I love you and miss you a lot.
Love you.
Let's talk soon, all right?
Yes.
By the way, man,
you and I will catch up properly.
Yeah.
Los Angeles is not the same place it used to be. Bordeaux, come on, remember that? Bordeaux, going. Oh my God, so much fun.
Not happening anymore.
I don't know. I mean,
nothing's happening here.
Nothing is happening in Hollywood.
Nothing's happening here anymore.
No.
God.
All right,
look, we should all move to Spain, get some American money, and make horror films. That's what we should do.
There we go.
That's exactly what you should do.
Right? I want to make my zombie Barcelona movie where like every zombie comes out of the Mediterranean.
The Mediterranean Sea.
Yeah.
It's Rob's wet blind dead.
Say what you want. Say what you want. I think it'd be good. I mean, anyway.
At this hour, everything sounds good to Rob.
I know. So, Victor, thank you for being here so much.
Thank you for having me, and thanks for your words, and thanks for being my friend, guys.
Yes.
Love you.
Love you.
All right.
Have a good night.
Bye.
And that will be the end of Victor Garcia. Dude, can we talk about how great was that? Come on.
Well, of course. Victor's great. And everyone loved it. And, there's nothing left to be said. It's time, Rob, to wrap this up tonight.
Okay, fine. You want to end this? You want to end this story, Dave?
Yes, it's here on the Pacific Coast. It is almost 3:30. I think we. You know what, Rob? Always leave them wanting more. And you can let them have more tomorrow morning on Let's Get Physical. And I will leave
tomorrow morning.
And I will leave,
come on.
And I will leave everyone with a last metal thing, which I got today.
Oh my! By the way,
and
I just want you to know, you can go.
I know you'll stay.
I'll stay. So all of you people.
So
what do you mean? What do you mean, you people?
Shut up. So everyone, thank you all for watching, putting up with me. Thank you for being so supportive of Victor. It means a lot to me personally. And I know, by the way, Dave, and I know Rob as well.
I have to say, like, Dave, I mean, I tonight meant a lot to me too, because Victor has meant a lot to all of us.
Yes,
you and I, and it was so great. And you know what I love about this show? To be honest, I mean, to be streaming with you on YouTube, it's pretty fucking cool.
It's awesome.
Like, I mean,
because we do not get to hang out a lot.
No, we haven't
seen in person for a while.
No, but I would say we've known each other since. I mean, dude, you taught me about editing trailers, like adding in 1993.
Yes, adding a swinging lantern. They all know.
No, it wasn't just that. It was just the idea of it, and you taught me how to edit something better.
I know, and I appreciate it. Hey, guys, before I leave, I just little metal thing that I got, Rob, that people are seeing. The Steelbook Rambo collection.
Wow. Okay.
4K. The 4K Rambo Steelbook collection is mine, and it's made out of metal.
I have that shit, by the way. Just
now I do too.
And by the way, how great is it? Look at those steelbooks. Look at them.
The artwork is absolutely beautiful,
dude. It's insane.
Just like you are, and I thank you all.
What does that mean?
You're beautiful. You're a beautiful man. You're a beautiful.
By the way,
man.
Dave,
don't start wars, Rob.
You too are a beautiful man. I mean, you want to get into it? I mean,
no, I don't. I don't. No, we'll just leave it at that. We've had a beautiful night with beautiful people. It's all beautiful people.
Oh my
out there.
God! Yes,
and Rob is going to bring some of you beautiful people on because he's not leaving. I'm going to be a little smart and leave you wanting more. That's what I at least want to think that I'm doing.
Oh my God!
Thank you all. Black Phillip was here. Ash is here. Tom is here. Mondo's here. So many great people. The Richards here still. I want to thank everyone who has taken the time to watch. And Swack. Obviously, I got to bring Swack.
Dude, Swack props. I mean, come on, dude.
The man, the myth, the legend.
I mean,
the man, the myth, the legend, and who makes the legends live.
Hang on. Can I just... One of my favorite things I own is this.
The only thing I got to say is, and Swack is doing in the Math of Madness, the hardcover. Do you know that John Carpenter on his Storm King website is giving away original Sutter Kane novels?
Okay.
As a collection, which is amazing. There, yes.
Can I talk about Swack? Can I just?
You can. Hold on. Because I'm going to let you'll have your time to expound upon Swack props more.
Okay, I don't have to expound upon anything,
I know, and you're going to light it up. But guys, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I can't wait to see you guys next week. This is the highlight of my week, doing this show with Rob. I cannot thank him enough for letting me do it. I cannot thank you guys enough for being here. It's so much fun.
That was not a good example of. Sorry, Dave. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
But that's okay. It's all good, man.
No, but you know what? I would say that like your gratitude. You know what?
Oh wait! Before I leave, wait. An important thing. There we had a letter from Evan Newman, and I just want to read this before I leave.
Oh
this will be
my God! Okay.
This will be the last thing before I leave.
In a world.
So Evan Newman wrote a letter to us. Said, "A horn fist in the air. Hello to both you and Rob.
Fuck
you
yeah,
guys
dude.
have been
fuck yes.
You guys have been killing it on the show recently, especially your interviews with Darren Scott and Dave Scow and the state of horror discussion. Speaking of horror, who's that I hear on my TV right now? Why, it's Stevie Wayne in the KAB Lighthouse.
Antonio Bay.
Keeping me company during another witching hour while warning the men of the seagrass to look out for that fog bank. I know you're both fans of John Carpenter's The Fog.
Oh my God.
But I enjoyed hearing Dave say on the State of Horror episode that while The Thing may be Carpenter's best, The Fog was Dave's favorite, and he watches it often at night. Amen, my man. Since seeing The Fog for the first time in January 2020, it has quickly become my favorite Carpenter film, and I too find myself watching it many nights before bed. As Tom Cullen in The Stand might say, MOON, that spells the fog, or MOOD, that spells the fog. The Fog is full mood, especially the first 15 minutes. I don't know of any other film that better captures that twilight time feeling than The Fog. From the opening ghost story that cuts to a beautifully main title card to all of the happenings occurring as the opening credits roll, this movie wonderfully captures the lonely nighttime atmosphere and mood where everything is calm just before things begin to go bump in the night. There isn't another movie I'd rather fall asleep to than The Fog, although Escape from New York is close. John Carpenter's The Fog is a lullaby for horror fans, and a damn good one at that. Keep your horns held high, but when someone comes knocking on your door at midnight, maybe wait until 1 a.m. to answer. Evan Newman. Thank you, Evan. I agree wholeheartedly, and this is why my company is called 1155 Films.
Dave, that was, by the way, can I just let me give you a high five on the beautiful rendition of reading that letter. I mean, my God. And you know what? That letter, Evan Newman, this is why the Post-Geek Singularity community is so unique and awesome. I mean,
and exists.
That
that is such a great letter.
Oh
and the
my
thing
God.
And the thing is this, guys, if you didn't hear that and wanted to take a little stroll, a little ride on the Elizabeth Dane, I don't know what's wrong. I cannot even begin, because The Fog, like the thing, like Escape from New York, is a perfect movie.
I know. And the fact that we have people, our community, writing such eloquent, beautiful letters.
Oh my God, Evan!
Like, come on,
if
man.
if you're watching, if you're not watching, I hope he sees this later on. Rob, thank you for sending that to me. The fact of the matter is that,
well, I had to say, look, man, I had to send that letter to you because here's the thing: the way you read it was exquisite, and one of the great things about doing these shows is the community that watches them, and the people that watch Midnight Metal. They're like, a lot of people are like, fuck yeah, dude, yeah. And by the way, yeah, fuck yeah, fucking metal,
No, no, it's
But-
awesome. And the thing is this, it's like, it's really, I know that I bring more of the horror aspect, and I also try to bring in the music aspect. And we were going to talk about Woodstock '99.
Yeah,
guys,
we'll do that next
guys,
week.
I want to. We'll do it next week. We'll talk about Woodstock '99 because there's a lot of really interesting stuff to uncover with that documentary.
Yeah.
And if you haven't seen it, I really highly recommend, if you have HBO, to watch it. It's fascinating.
Yep.
But the fact of the matter is that that someone, again, you always say they park their shuttles,
There's
the same shuttle
shuttlecrafts
bay.
in the same shuttle bay.
Yes. The fact that we park our ships in the same bay as Antonio Bay, for me, is
Antonio
a
Bay.
KAB.
We that would be
I mean,
Dave. We anchor our ships
in the
same
in the same bay,
same bay,
Antonio Bay.
Antonio Bay. By the way, I love that. I should start using that. I mean, and people are tired of we park our same. I'm
Well,
like,
I just,
we park our tall sailing ships in the same bay.
Our skipper ships.
Yeah,
I just like that. Look, I just like the fact that the people watching here with us have been not just science fiction fans and everything, that they embrace horror, because that's my passion, where science fiction, where every genre is your passion, but science fiction is definitely a predominant passion of yours as well. So I love the fact that there are these people that really get into this, and just to go, Evan, if you do end up watching, if you do end up seeing this,
he's watching.
I've been lucky enough to, one, meet and hang out with John Carpenter and with Adrienne Barbeau. So, and I brought the fog up to both of them. So to have another person reach out with that love of the fog means a lot. So thank you. Thank you very much for sending that letter. Look, it's great to have anyone send a letter. It's awesome to be able to read the messages on chat, some that are super chat, and then the ones that aren't. I love being able to, hit some other people up with what they said. So anyway, Rob, I'm gonna make myself scarce. I am going to disappear, and you guys,
oh my God,
you're in for something that I take no responsibility for.
Well, like, okay, Dave, I will say goodnight to you, but let me just follow up with that and say thank you for all the kind words and all honoring people that we love, like John Carpenter. I mean, I wanted to be him. I wanted to have his widescreen career,
This is why I'm still in Los Angeles. I still do.
Yeah, I mean, even him, his first feature film, other than Dark Star, was Assault on Precinct 13.
Precinct 13.
And even him, his audio commentaries, like, I was just trying to figure out widescreen photography, and it was amazing. And, Cronenberg, Carpenter, Joe Dante,
George Romero. And guys, wait, very important. This week was also Wes Craven's birthday, posthumously, his birthday. So again, also another man that I was very lucky to interact with and meet. And one of the, again, it's been so lucky that, they always say, don't meet your heroes. I've been very lucky. I've gotten to meet so many, if not all of the people, including like the Larry Cohens of the world.
Oh yeah, me too. I mean,
all these people. We were in a rarefied time where we actually had the opportunity to meet these people.
Yeah, we did.
And I just have to say, they were all amazing. Wes Craven.
You know what?
Wes Craven, one of the nicest. Toby Hooper, also Mondo brought up Toby Hooper, amazing gentleman.
I mean,
Stuart Gordon. These people that we have lost. Joe Dante, another amazing guy as well. John Landis, incredible.
Dude, I mean, one of the things I recorded Toby Hooper's commentary for Life Force.
Yeah.
You
And
know,
I did, and Mike Mendez and I, and if you want to watch this, you can find this on YouTube. It's called Masters of Horror. It came before the Mick Garris Showtime show. There is a special that was hosted by Bruce Campbell that me and Mike Mendez did.
Yep.
It's on YouTube, and it has personal interviews with Romero, Carpenter, Craven, Guillermo, Landis, Rick Baker.
No, it's amazing. It's an amazing documentary.
Dario Argento, and these are all people that we have been very fortunate enough to meet and interact with personally. And I have to say, they have all never disappointed. They have all been amazing.
No, absolutely. And I have to say, like, you know, when I talk about my own work that I've done, like, I mean, I got to go to a place where Toby Hooper had to not just do audio commentary, but I had to interview him.
In Sherman Oaks. And
I'm like, I sat down with Toby Hooper. I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, oh my God.
That's the thing.
Like,
not,
yeah,
and this is not becoming a brag thing, but we're very lucky. It's like,
look,
I had dinner with not one but two Leatherfaces, Gunnar Hansen and R.A. Mihailov. I had and R.A. and it was barbecue. We fucking did it. We did it right,
dude.
Yeah,
I went to England.
I've been incredibly lucky as far as this goes.
I went to England and talked to Christopher Lee for 5 hours.
Yeah, you had the penultimate. You met the master. I met the modern masters. You met that man.
What's funny about it is like, I don't think a lot of people would care.
Are you kidding?
But
you have at least 165 people who care right now.
We do. What I mean is like we grew up. Christopher Lee, before Lord of the Rings, pre Lord of the Rings, Christopher Lee was our fucking jam. Like,
well, he was not only Dracula, but he was Bond.
He was
in
Bond. He was
I mean, come on.
Christopher Lee was
He's the man with the
baller motherfucker of the world. So
and he was a real MI.
Yeah, he killed people.
He really
he killed people with a knife. Like, he jammed knives into people's.
Yeah. Oh, and Mondo. Yes, I hung out with David Hess as well. The thing is, when you really think about it, I wish my directing career, and I hope that it grows, but I've been so lucky with the people that I've been able to meet and interact with.
Dude, it will. I mean, what we're living through.
But the nice thing is this, Rob, doing this show has really reinvigorated a lot of the passions that had waned, and doing this, being able to talk with like-minded people who are watching the show and our guests has really reinvigorated so much. And I cannot thank you guys enough.
Oh, look, I say 100% of the time. And I mean, a lot of people ask me, like, you have a movie coming out and you're still doing YouTube? I'm like, okay, you know why I still do YouTube? Because YouTube, people cherish us. They like the work we're doing. Like, Dave,
I don't know about that, but the thing is, we're all of like-minded people. We speak the same language.
No, but hang on.
I appreciate that so much.
Yeah, but
we wouldn't be on this late if it wasn't for you guys.
No, we would, of course. But on the other hand, I mean, trying to make movies sucks. It's terrible. Like, you walk in. I can have a movie. I do have a movie coming out, and I'm like, I have a distributor. Here's something. People are like, fuck you. They're literally like, I don't care, and it's so terrible. And you'd think the rest of the world thinks like, well, you've made something people like, so wouldn't they give you money to make something else? No, They wouldn't. They
But
don't.
but we are educating. We are letting people know what it is like, and
We do.
and just talk about it. Like again, guys, I'm not bragging about the people that I'm at. I'm just sharing. The one person that, at least as far as I know, that you and I haven't met, and we have been so close to meeting him, is Stephen King.
Yeah,
and I hope someday. I hope someday that I can meet the man, and I'm very excited because his new book, Billy Summers, came out this week. I'm listening to it now, so there you go, guys.
Wait, listening to it?
I am. I love listening to King's audiobooks.
Come on, man.
No, they're great. Look, I'm reading Splinter of the Mind's Eye, and I'm listening to Billy Summers.
It's fine.
So,
well, I have to say, I mean, I look at the Robservatory. I'm looking at my first edition of It from 1986. It's right over there. I mean,
yes.
By the way, that doesn't mean anything. No one cares. But for me, like,
and Mondo, yeah, Clive's a good dude. Clive Barker, good dude. Very good dude. Very great dude. Very, very nice dude.
We interviewed him, like one of the great regrets in my life.
But, no, I know. We've covered your great regrets of not being able to share these interviews. We know.
Well,
we know.
I mean, to make that documentary, it sucks.
But you
fuck Disney, by the way.
You can share this all as I leave. And I bid you all.
All right, Dave.
I bid you all a fine farewell. Good night.
Okay. So hang on, Dave. I will send you away and make you
disappear.
Let's all. Dave Parker is gone.